wanting people to listen. You can't just tap them on the shoulder anymore. You have to hit them with a sledgehammer. And then you'll notice you've got their strict attention.
So your murderers come with smiles. They come as your friends, the people who have cared for you all of your life, and they always seem to come at a time when you're at your weakest and most in need of their help.
But here's my advice to the rest of you. Take dead aim on the rich ones. Get them in the crosshairs and take them down.
I'm ready. Let's do it right now, right here. Come on.
All right.
I love you.
I love you, honey bunny.
Everybody be cool, this is a robbery!
Any of you pricks move! And I'll execute every last one of you!
I generally come in at least 15 minutes late. After that, I just sort of space out for about an hour. I just stare at my desk. But it looks like I'm working. I do that for probably another hour after lunch, too. I'd say in a given week, I probably only do about 15 minutes of real, actual work.
The whole world gone crazy! Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules? Market zero! You think I'm fucking around here, market zero? Son of a bitch! Son of a bitch! You lousy son of a bitch! If there's one thing I can't stand, it's a double-cross artist!
Playing with my money is like playing with my emotions.
I want that son of a bitch dead. I want him dead. I want you to get this fuck where he breathes. I want him dead. I want his family dead. I want his house burnt to the ground. I want to go to the middle of the night. I want to piss on his egg.
Kick this ass for a man, that's all. Kick my ass. Enjoy. Come on. I'm not asking, I'm telling with this. Kick my ass.
Just say the first thing that pops into your mind. You sold me a crummy watch. I want my money back.
You know what you can do with that watch? Stick it up your ass.
Good. It's a mystery. It's a mystery wrapped in a riddle. It's not an enigma. Don't you get it? Fuck, man.
It's still real to me, damn it.
I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions have an echo in so much space. And when you're out there without care, yeah, I was out of touch. But it wasn't because I didn't know enough. I just knew too much. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Possibly. And I hope that you are having the time of your life. But think twice. That's my only advice. Come on now, who do you think you are? Bless your soul. You really think you're in control? Well, I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. Just like me. My heroes had the heart to lose their lives out on the limb. And all I remember is thinking, I want to be like this. Ever since I was little, it looked like fun. If there's no coincidence, I've come. And I can die when I'm done. But maybe I'm crazy. Maybe you're crazy.
Oh, buddies, it's the Ron and Fez show. Earl, I'm just running in here at the last second. I can't believe this is the day. You got my boys on.
Oh, Gnarls Barkley, that is my favorite song, and maybe my already album of the year.
Your all-time favorite song?
Not my all-time favorite. My favorite song of the year so far.
You know who turned me on to that is Kathleen from the Bronx. She's always on that cutting edge. You, on the other hand, Earl, just now, ready to pop up.
Yeah, I'm a little late on the curve on Gnarls Barkley, but gnarlsbarkley.com.
All right, Ron and Fez show. I'm on. There's Fez.
Hiya, buddies.
Fez, just as I was running in, I heard Jimmy Norton saying something nice to you about Earl.
Yeah, he was saying that every word that comes out of our producer's mouth is music.
That's wonderful, Earl.
And Jimmy Norton also had this to say, that nobody loves our producer, Black Earl, more than he does.
Wow.
It's good to be loved, man.
Now, I was going to listen to him, but I thought he was going to do another rape joke, and I just got out of there. It's not a mocking matter.
Earl, did you happen to get pissed on today by any chance?
No, there was no...
oh, okay.
No yellow treats today.
You're far out of the base today, I noticed, Fez. Is it the headphones, or you got a little cold going?
Maybe it's a little cold. I don't know.
Earl, do you hear it, or is it just me?
Sounds like it's a slight cold or something.
Okay. Huh. Sounds like you're up here. Like, hi, everybody. It's the all-new Fez Watley. It's my new way of talking. There's no bass at all.
Getting ready to do my new ventriloquist act that I'm putting together.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Eastside Dave, thinking that the rest of us have never seen Albert Brooks, has a new character, the funny ventriloquist.
He seems very proud of it. And it's kind of scary to walk into the office and see that dummy sitting back there.
Yeah, and then he's got a puppet with him, so it fucking drives me nuts. All right, 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Oh, you were calling the puppet the dummy.
Exactly.
I missed it completely.
Roberto.
If you ever want to email us, it's ronandfez at AOL.com, ronandfez at AOL.com, the unofficial website, ronfez.net, and then there's some kind of MySpace thing, which I got to tell you the truth, I don't completely understand.
That's the myspace.com/Ron and Fez show.
Is that how that works?
That's exactly how that works.
Well, we're making friends.
There was an ancient manuscript that scientists have come up with.
Was it your yearbook?
No, not that ancient.
It was the old Fez Watley Pinellas Park yearbook. You even at that age, during the war, you looked older than the kids today.
We were supposed to be the Patriots, but we were even too early for that. But this manuscript they're calling the Gospel of Judas is now painting Judas not so much as a betrayer, but as a good soldier, a good pal to Jesus who was just doing what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, I saw this on, I guess it's not 2020. What is the...
Prime time?
Yeah, it might have been. I don't think so, because it came on at 10. I don't know what it has. Close Up? I don't know what these shows are. But basically they were saying he was a co-conspirator that for Jesus to die, they had to run this little gimmick on everybody.
And basically Judas and Jesus... Judas were the only ones in on it.
Right.
Jesus didn't reveal any of this to any of the other disciples. Judas was the one with the knowledge. And told that, hey, you're going to be cursed for generations. People are not going to like you, Judas, after this one. So Judas just following orders there. And it makes you wonder now, so is every bad guy just following the plan of God? Like Hitler, just following God's divine plan?
Well, it's not like Hitler set Jesus up in any way. So you're saying there's no free will whatsoever?
That's what makes me wonder, but yeah. Yeah, it's like everyone just following their plan.
Yeah, well, what you could do is this. When you're busted for murder, you would yell, look, there is no free will. There's nothing I can do about it. Let me go. Hey, Wendy. Wendy, you're on Ron and Fez. How are you?
Hi.
Hi.
This is Wendy.
That's why I said hi, Wendy.
Okay. There was Prime Time that was on.
Prime Time?
Yeah, because I watched it. Because at first they talked about people wanting to cut their legs off.
Yeah, that was the interesting part of the show. People who just have a desire and even an obsession to lop off a limb. They just can't help it.
Uh-huh.
Wow, that is amazing. I would never have that. I don't like going around knives. Never mind starting lopping things off with it.
Well, but you are familiar with obsessions.
Sure.
And these people, they just feel like, and they don't know why, they would feel better and look better with a limb missing.
And the foreign accent thing was hilarious.
Yeah, that's people that, and I've seen that before. There was actually somebody down in Florida, Fezzy, down your way, who she had a stroke and came back British.
You never know what that's, when they start messing around with the brain, you never know what's going to go get twisted around in there with the wiring.
So what can we do for you, Wendy?
I just wanted to let you know that I watched that too, and it was prime time that I was watching last night.
Yeah. What did you think of the Judas angle? Do you think it was really his book?
I didn't really pay attention to that after the whole amputee and everything else. It wasn't as interesting.
Well, you know, the thing is, Judas, if he would have cut off a leg, you would have been right there with him.
Exactly.
The whole time. That show's actually pretty good. A couple of weeks ago, Fez, they did an experiment, the game theory, if you will, and they took, I think it was like 10 couples. Now, people that didn't know each other. They were all sent into New York City. They had no idea who else was playing the game. And they all came into New York from different ways. You had people coming by boat, over the tram, the tunnel, every which direction you could come in New York. And they were told, find the other people in the game. Even though you don't know where they're going to be and what they're going to be doing or who they look like or anything else. So how long do you think it took for everybody to find each other?
I would say weeks, and some probably never found anybody.
All right, if you were to say, if I did this game with you, and I said you go into New York and look for somebody else in the game, what would your strategy be?
My strategy would be to head like to Times Square or something, some place that I would think other people would think to go to.
Everybody in the game was found within 3 hours. Basically, there was two different groups. Some people went to Times Square, which was my first pick as well, and just stood there and looked around and yelled, hey, I'm in a game. And the other people went to the top of the Empire State Building. So there was two groups. They found each other within 3 hours. So you look at this, you know, pretty enormous city, and if you really just follow your own first instinct, your own first logic, you know, a couple people, they went and thought, well, I'll try the train station, whatever. But Times Square and the top of the Empire State Building, which to me, when I heard it, I went, I would never, because that cuts you off from, you know, that's going to take hours, and now you're stuck in a very small area. But women, I think, thought of that one first as kind of a romantic meeting place. But they basically thought themselves, where else would other people go? 3 hours, everybody's found.
That's amazing that they end up within 8 blocks of each other.
Here's Scott, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, yeah, I saw something on the internet about that Judas thing. I don't mean to go backtrack on
you can backtrack any which way you want. It's Friday.
Okay, that's cool. Thank God, right?
Thank God it's Friday.
There you go. Right. All right. But that Judas Scripps thing, they're going to have something on the National Geographic channel. I think it's like Sunday night or something.
Yeah, they're going to run something on the National Geographic channel, and they're also, it's going to be in the new National Geographic. Someone found this out in the desert like 30 years ago, and it was resold a couple times, and then for years sat in a strongbox in Hicksville, Long Island, just sitting in this real weird-looking plaza, this really historical thing, until somebody would pony up the cash for it.
You would think they would start immediately trying to decipher this thing.
Well, because
why would you wait?
I think it was found by people who thought, well, I don't know what it means, but I'm going to make I'm going to get paid for it. So, yeah. So as soon as it is deciphered, as you said, what's it worth to the person who finds it? So basically, I don't think it was found by some Bible historian.
Judas seems to be the new in now, getting coverage on Primetime, National Geographic.
Well, this is at least the second time a book of the Bible, one of the lost books, have been shown up recently. The other one was the Mary Magdalene angle, where, again, according to her story, not the bad seed that the Bible gave her.
Yeah, and it turns out that she was not a prostitute, that was one of the earlier popes that went ahead and made that change for everybody.
Here is Jeremy, you're on Ron and Fez.
What's up, buddies?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, if Fez is in my group and I had to find him, I'd head to the nearest gay bathhouse.
Well, I don't think you have as many gay bathhouses anymore. Are there any, Earl, like there used to be?
I think they shut them all down because of through the AIDS epidemic in the 80s.
That's a shame for Fez.
Yeah. All right, thank you very much.
Goodbye.
866-RON-0-FEZ, Ron, Zero, Fez. But basically, I think any two times gay guys get together, it's a gay bathhouse.
All you need is a tub.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be so official.
Just some steam going. Scientists, they've also discovered the fossils of a 375-million-year-old fish, never seen before.
I wouldn't eat it. I got news for you. I just don't think it's fresh.
That is some bad sushi. And they're saying that this fish is the missing link between when life was just in the water, fish in the water, and before things started coming up on land.
It was the first fish to walk out of the land?
Yeah, with to start walking around on all fours on land. So very, very cool. This has got to get the creationists upset again. The divine, I can't think of what they call that theory now. That they kept getting yanked out of the schools.
Well, I don't think that they think that there was any divinity to fish. So I wouldn't be... Earl, you're not offended that fish could evolve, are you?
No, not at all.
It's man that freaks you out.
The man thing always freaks me out.
Yeah, so I don't think you're going to hear a lot of people that are going to yell, my fish is no monkey. So I don't think it's going to turn them, Fez. Taking on the Christians today, though, huh, big man?
A little bit, yeah.
What happened with you? You were a Lutheran when we met you, and it turned it all around in a big, big way.
No, I just started getting suspicious.
Here's Rick. Rick, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, yeah, one thing that nobody's talking about, Judas killed himself over the whole thing, gave the money back and hung himself.
Yeah, where does that show up in the new Judas story, Fez?
In the new Judas story, it doesn't show up, because in the new Judas story, it just gets to the betrayal and doesn't say anything about what happened afterwards.
But, I mean, it's not like he wrote this story in 8 hours and then hung himself.
Right.
And why would he hang himself if he was part of this plot?
Yeah, and... he hung himself after he went and threw back the silver. And then I thought there was also a thing where Judas went to hell, too, in the Bible.
Yeah.
So that doesn't say... If he was part of God's plan, he shouldn't have to burn for it.
Here's Matt. Matt, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I wanted to know if this means that assisted suicide is allowed now.
Oh, because Jesus was an assisted suicide?
Yeah, the first assisted suicide was Jesus' help.
Let me check with Earl on that one, because let's face it, Earl, you're the only Christian I have left now. So you have to take the full brunt of it. Jesus, he came here for a purpose, right?
Yes.
From day one, it was to die on the cross, right?
Yes, he died for our sins.
And he could have defended himself. He could have turned the Roman soldiers into white mice, but he didn't do it.
Yes, he sacrificed his life so that others like me and you can live.
Right. So would you consider it a form of suicide?
No, not at all. I don't think it's a form of suicide. I mean, he could have, to me, I always think of suicide. You put a gun to your head or a knife to your chest or take pills.
Now, even with this angle on Judas, I never felt like Judas had a real choice, that he was part of the story no matter what. Somebody, as part of the story, was going to turn on Christ, right?
Yes, he always said, he goes, there's this many among you, but one of you, Jesus knew one of them was going to betray him.
Right. And you know that he would, since he was Jesus, he would know which one. So do you punish that guy with hell? Or you just feel like, well, he was part of the passion play?
I think because he killed himself, I think he's going to hell.
I think it's, but according to your plan, so did Jesus.
Well, Jesus basically
If
said...
you're telling me Jesus is in hell, Earl, I'm walking out of here now.
No, I didn't say that, but I'm just saying that he said, hey, you guys do what you want with me. I know you're going to say, I know you don't like me, I know you're going to kill me, but I'm not going to put up a fight over it. If you kill me, great. If not, that's still cool.
Is he talking about Jesus or Judas now? I'm very confused.
Jesus, I'm sorry.
You're talking about Jesus, right?
Yes, Jesus did not kill himself, no.
But Jesus wasn't going to be cool if he never went to the cross.
And let's face it, Jesus dies of an old age. It's really not a dramatic story. And then later he passed away in his sleep. It's not a dramatic story. You've got to have that arc of a story.
No, but he knew how evil men were, or how evil men became.
Because they made us that way. Let's face it. Here's Tom. Tom, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you all know that Judas didn't go to hell in the New Testament. Jesus said that there's 12 seats next to the throne of God for the apostles. And had Judas went to hell, then there would only be 11 seats. And that's all really.
I think he was counting Mary Magdalene in with that as one of the apostles.
Well,
that was later rejected
well,
by the church.
There's a lot of speculation into
But
that.
I think Fez has the Bible confused with Dante's Inferno, because in Dante's Inferno, he was in hell.
That's a good possibility.
Yeah.
I always thought for some reason Jesus saw Judas in hell, like I had heard that.
Heard? Where?
Like in church or Sunday school
Rumblings
or something.
something?
Yeah, just idle church gossip.
Tony, you're on Ron and Fez.
Earl, you trying to say Jesus Christ couldn't hit a curveball?
Couldn't or could hit?
Could not hit a curveball.
I'm going to tell you something right now, Earl, and I might have different viewpoints of view. I don't see Jesus stepping out of the bucket. I see him staying in the whole entire time, leaning the shoulder down on a curveball and driving it to the opposite field.
And if they knocked him down, he would get up and get a few inches closer to the plate.
Well, the thing, even if the thing about Jesus, my feeling was, as a ball player, if he was knocked down, you wouldn't even see him brush off. He would act like it never even happened. He is not going to knock the dirt off himself.
You got to do the Don Baylor, he got hit. He was like the most hit guy in history for a while.
Yeah.
Until Biggio passed him. He would never rub. He goes, I would not give the pitcher that much credit.
And you don't think Jesus would be the same way?
He would not rub, no.
Yeah. I honestly also think like this. Jesus would be the type of ball player to try to move the runner along. He wouldn't be constantly going for the fence like you see today. My own belief is that Jesus would play a 90-foot, old-style National League game. That was where he would be more comfortable.
He would lead the league in sacrifices.
Exactly. Thank you very much. You know, it's not going to show up in the box score the next day, but you are going to find out that he got the guy from first to second. Hey, John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys, big fan. Good to talk to you.
Yeah.
Look, first off, yeah, Jesus would just get up and run down to first base and never let him see you wince or cry, you know,
right.
No matter how bad they hit you. But he's kind of like a guy in the Marines who throws himself on a grenade during the war for his buddies. You know, that's what he did, as opposed to Judas, who just, went swinging from the shower curtain.
Well, I gotta agree with you there that the story has to be he went out the way he went out. And to do that, I think you need Judas in the story. And if you have to have a Judas, it's like being mad at Christopher Walken in a film for playing the bad guy.
Yeah, it wouldn't have worked if Jesus just went and threw himself off a cliff and let himself fall and hit.
No, that's not going to work for
There's
people.
got to be co-conspirators.
Yeah, then you're going to be in church, you're going to hear, and then the Lord chucked himself off of church. You would actually see people getting up and walking out. They would want no part of that.
Some people would head to the cliffs.
Here's Chris. Chris, you're on Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to give my sci-fi for all the geeks out there, my take on it. Jesus was kind of like Obi-Wan.
Well, I would turn it around and say Obi-Wan was more like Jesus.
Right. Well,
but yes, in that story, Obi-Wan sacrificed himself, right? His physical self, so his power could go back into the universe.
There you go.
And again, moving the runner. That, in religious terms, is called moving the runner.
Or like if there's a runner on second, nobody out, you hit the ball to the right side. Move that runner along.
Thank you very much. If you got to pull fielder's choice, fine. The guys on the team know what's happening, even if the fucking sports writers don't. Speaking of which, Jimmy Rollins, his name will never be mentioned on this show again. Never mentioned on this show again. We gave him, 15 minutes yesterday?
Yep.
And then he takes the collar yesterday, 0 for 4. Philly's starting off 0 for 3. Thank God for my New Jersey Nets, the team I've been with since really 2/3 of the way through this streak that they're running right now. I mean, I might be on the bandwagon. I have a feeling I'm not the last guy on that bandwagon.
Now up to 14. The Nets beating the Bobcats last night.
Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys. Hey, I was talking to my father about a year ago, and he told me that Jesus died on the cross for our sins. Hardcore Catholic. And when you start talking about it, logic completely escapes him.
Right.
And I said, what's that even supposed to mean when he died for our sins? Well, prior to Jesus dying on the cross, nobody went into heaven. It wasn't until he died that the gates of heaven opened and everybody went in. And just completely unexpectedly, I just started openly laughing. And when I saw the look on his face, I was like, oh, my God, this is hardcore.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, Mike. the Jews still haven't gotten into heaven because to them the Savior hasn't got there. So you'll never hear about the Jews talking about heaven because they have to wait for Jesus. Their version of Jesus.
That's funny.
Why is that funny?
It just escapes logic completely.
Well, yes. You wouldn't have to have faith if there was logic to it.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
And those poor guys are still waiting for Elijah to show up before Jesus does.
So they're waiting a while, huh?
They gotta wait.
I wish they would just, even now in retrospect, just take another look at Jesus and make definite sure that wasn't him.
You know what? I don't think anyone would hold that against them if they came out and said, hey, after another look at this, we've gone over the books and...
check the tape.
Yeah. And you know what? Yeah, made a mistake earlier. Sure. Now we're on board.
George, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, hey, buddies.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Jesus was a showboater. He would have stood at the plate, pointed to deep center, hit it out of the park, and given everybody a home run ball.
I have never seen, and there's no evidence that I know of, is that Jesus was showboating out there.
Hey, walking on water, turning water into wine.
Because at that time it was the only move he could make. But he wasn't doing it for no reason. He didn't suddenly go, and Fez, look in your pocket, is that your card? I mean, if he was doing it constantly.
The Queen of Diamonds.
That's showboating.
No.
But he would...
water, what do you call that?
At the time where he actually had to do it.
He could have body surfed.
No. Again, you needed a dramatic purpose. If Jesus was constantly doing miracles, yes, then he's showboating Pete Rose. At the point that I see him, he's just doing what he's got to do when he's got to do it. Again, sometimes you do got to swing for the fence. Earl knows that as much as anybody.
The water into wine thing, that was just at a wedding, a quiet wedding party, just, family and friends only.
And again, his mom made him do it.
And it's not like he turned a whole river into wine for everybody to play in.
Here's Joe, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, two things. Can you imagine if he didn't run out a pop-up, the first base, this man would be yelling, Jesus Christ! But anyway, he could never play for the Yankees because of his long hair and beard.
That is a good point, Earl. What would happen... Jesus gets drafted by the Yankees, or traded, let's face it, traded to the Yankees. Steinbrenner's not going to let him keep his hair and his beard.
I think the greatest of all time, I think he'll give an exemption to it. Definitely.
I doubt it.
I don't think so. He hasn't done it for anybody else. He's never done it before. Why now?
Hey, he's the GATE. Imagine how many fans they would draw if he showed up, played for the Yankees. Sell out everywhere.
I cannot imagine Jesus playing for the Yankees. That would be like saying, oh, did you hear? Jesus got a job with Halliburton. It just seems to me the opposite of everything he went. See, the Yankees were like the Roman Empire. If anything, Jesus might be a Met.
No, he might be a Colorado Rocky. They're awful.
Here's Peace. Peace, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, 5281, buddy.
Hello, buddy. What's up?
Hey, Ron, I kind of want to make a bet with you, bro. You were on the Pistons bandwagon.
Who?
Now you're on the Nets bandwagon.
Yeah. Who? Pistons?
What?
It's a crazy team. What was I thinking?
How many have they won in a row?
What, the Pistons?
Yeah.
Well, they just beat Miami last night pretty big.
One.
Beat Miami.
That's one in a row. Pistons actually, Fezzy, are the front runners this year. But again, I'm not a front runner guy. I'm not Earl. I'm not Earl and Dave wearing my Yankee hat every day. How difficult is it to be a Yankee fan?
And then
like being a Darth Vader fan.
Trying to draft Jesus. God, gimme.
Here's Justin. Justin, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all are missing the joke that guy called in about when he said, are you telling me Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball? Y'all don't know what movie that's from?
Yes, we do know. But here's the thing. The point is this. Jesus, of course, could hit from either side of the plate. He could bunt. He could hit it long. To me, Jesus was the best there ever was. The best there ever was. Jesus was way cool. We haven't really played that for a while, but it really is the way to look at the whole situation. Bruce, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, buddies, not only does Jesus hit the curveball, he hits the bong and he hustles it out and doesn't wait for it to leave the yard.
That is the truth about him. You will never see Jesus sitting there watching his own shot. He hits the ball, and everyone knows it's out. What does he do? He drops the bat, he runs hard, he looks at the ground. He's not going to sit there watching the ball going out like some showboating Sally. It's not his way. It's not his way. He understands it's a team sport. Earl, give us a little bit of Jesus' Way Cool.
Jesus was way cool. Everybody liked Jesus. Everybody wanted to hang out with him. Anything he wanted to do, he did. He turned water into wine, and if he wanted to, he could have turned wheat into marijuana, or sugar into cocaine, or vitamin pills into amphetamines. He walked on the water and swam on the land. He would tell these stories, and people would listen. He was really cool. If you were blind or lame, you just went to Jesus, and he would put his hands on you, and you would be healed. That's so cool. He could have played guitar better than Hendrix. He could have told the future. He could have baked the most delicious cake in the world. He could have scored more goals than Wayne Gretzky. He could have danced better than Baryshnikov. Jesus could have been funnier than any comedian you could think of. Jesus was way cool. He told people to eat his body and drink his blood. That's so cool. Jesus was so cool. But then some people got jealous of how cool he was, so they killed him. But then he rose from the dead. He rose from the dead, danced around, and went up to heaven. I mean, that's so cool. Jesus was way cool. No wonder there are so many Christians.
Jesus was way cool. GVAC just got here. GVAC, you were thinking the same thing. You can see Jesus playing small ball.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
National League style all the way.
I don't even understand American League style. I got to tell you the truth. It's so slow. I call it beer league.
Yeah.
It's just basically waiting to see who can hit one out. You grew up a fan of which team, GVAC?
Cincinnati Reds.
Wow, that was tough to pick during the 70s, huh? To sit there and pick the Big Red Machine as your team. Not an easy move to make.
In all fairness and in all honesty, I did actually pick it during the 1973 National League playoffs, where they lost to the Mets.
Yeah, that's before they started that little streak of theirs?
Absolutely.
Earl, would you say this? Would you say the Reds of the 70s may be the greatest team of all time? Don't bring up the Yankees.
No, I would easily say that they were either in the playoffs or in playoff contention, I think through like 77 or something, from 70 to 77. Amazing run.
Yeah, it was an amazing run. And a very difficult time for GVAC to say to himself, I'm going to be a Reds fan. Is that the same time he became a big Steelers fan, Celtics fan? It all happened at the same time.
He felt he finally had to take a stand.
Actually, that wasn't the Celtics time. The Celtics was before that. Who was the big basketball team, would you say? Knicks? At that time, mid-70s?
Knicks and Lakers.
Yeah, it was the Lakers with Jerry Rest and
Wilt
Chamberlain.
That was a powerhouse.
GVAC in here today, our good buddy, and let's face it, Fezzy, our favorite band right now. We're trying to get something together with Crankcase. Seems to be a problem, though, Jake.
Listen, every band has its share of drama, and unfortunately, Crankcase is no exception.
I got an email from Mikey D last night. He said he would like 4 tickets to go see... Who was the guy that you did the... interview with the other day, Fez?
Bret Michaels from Poison.
He wants 4 tickets because he can't get his normal, and he writes to me, if you guys can work it out, I sent it on he wants a ticket for himself, his wife, his daughter, and Fez. So, Fezzy...
The D's.
He has got it in the back of his head that you want to be front and back at a Poison show. Now, before you say that sounds great, bring out a calendar and show Fez what year it is, because it's not 1988.
Oh my God, it's 2006.
Yeah.
Put that calendar away, because now I'm disgusted.
Here's Mark. Mark, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, forget about the baseball. Jesus under center. I'm thinking he's a pocket passer. He's not going to leave that pocket. He's not going to scramble, much unlike the black quarterback. And he's cool as a cucumber, just finding the receivers, picking apart defense.
I don't know. I could see him in a run and gun situation or even the man to bring back the wishbone, because at this time he's rolling out. Is he going to run? Is he going to throw? Is he going to pitch? Is a possibility.
It's all shotgun. All shotgun.
Now,
Every
again,
play from the shotgun.
to
They
me
don't even
that
run the ball.
to me that would be showboating. If he just dropped back and just threw long, I don't think anybody would be impressed.
It seems that it would be hard to imagine him scrambling out there because he never ran from the Roman soldiers or anything. Seems like
But he
would
did
take
stay on the
sack.
move. He didn't run hard, but he stayed on the move. He adjusted, Fez.
Yeah.
I don't see him taking a sack. I would really find it hard to believe that he would sit there, and I hate to say it, like a late-age Ken Stabler, and just start to duck down. Here is Jeff. You're on Fez.
Hey, buddies. How
Yeah.
are you?
What's up?
Hey, you know what I miss? I miss Sweet Chin Music, Fez.
Go ahead, pal. What do you got for us?
Hey, I really think that there's a lot of advantage of Jesus on the baseball team, and I think he'd play for the Marlins just because of the the fish aspect. But looking at it, he'd be good for the other team as well because if they ever ran out of Gatorade, he'd be able to multiply that and make sure they got plenty of Gatorade.
All right, back of your mind, this was all going to be a funny bit, right? Back of your mind, Jeff?
I hope so.
You were breaking now for the laughter and giving us the opportunity?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, I think that he wouldn't be able to play on Sunday because it's his dad's day.
Well, Jesus saw Sunday as Saturday, right?
Yeah, that would be so none of those late season Saturday afternoon games where we get a couple of games each on Saturday. That was his Sabbath.
So, yeah, the Sunday Sabbath thing you never even did.
And I don't even think the Sabbath is all that big deal to him because one time he got in trouble with the Pharisees for healing somebody on the Sabbath, and that was considered work in those days.
Healing people.
Yeah, laying of hands. So I think he probably would have gone with that. I think you wouldn't have to rework the schedule for him at all.
I think you would just basically let him decide whether he could pitch or not.
Every third day.
He is going to know how the arm is. Here's Pete. Pete, you're on Fez.
Hey, Pete, go ahead, buddy.
Hey, guys, I think you're missing the obvious. I think Jesus would clearly play for the Angels.
I don't even think he would fall for that gimmick. I could not see Jesus happy in Anaheim.
Would he play for Tampa Bay?
I can't see him in with an expansion club. I really do think he's going to be with one of the old teams. I have a feeling, and I don't even know why, I'd say Chicago. I could see Jesus as a Cubby. And I don't even know why. That's just me using my psychic powers.
What about Detroit?
No, nobody can save that team. Let's face it.
With Anaheim, he'd probably get rid of those thunder sticks or whatever it is they have out there.
Yeah.
He could create his own.
So you're going to jump back in that with that guy. We're going to go to back to that gimmick. We're not going to move on. Here's Kind Bud. You're on Ron and Fez.
What up, fellas?
Yeah.
Love the show.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, you remember Lee Trevino saying a while back in the thunderstorm, he held up his one iron and said, even God can't hit a one iron? I really think Jesus would have been a good golfer. I think he could have hit a one iron, and I think he would have worn the beautiful green jacket here in Augusta every year.
I honestly don't see him playing.
Man, no, he would never miss a putt.
Yeah, okay. Earl, I don't see Jesus golfing. I mean, that whole crowd seemed the exact opposite of him.
Yeah, it doesn't draw a lot of... I mean, it's a very solitary game also. It doesn't draw people in unless you're out on a fairway or something.
I see him more playing handball with Bronx Johnny up in the BX, going in that direction. GVEC, I forgot to tell you, tonight our buddy, the Eggplant Queens, are going to be at the Knitting Factory.
Outstanding. Good band.
Have you seen those guys lately?
Yes, not in a while, but I have seen them.
KnittingFactory.com to go see the Eggplant Queens, or 212-219-3132. Because the last time I saw those, you guys did a gig with them somewhere.
Yeah.
There's a Battle of the Bands. Battle of the Bands. Do they even have those anymore?
Certain places do.
Yeah.
Certain places do still have them. I'm trying to remember if those were the guys, the last time we played Carabas, I'm wondering if they...
Yeah, that was them.
That was them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of, as they said, Beastie Boys meets Clash, which I don't know. I know someone's always meeting in music nowadays. People are always meeting. All right, I look up there and we're just packed with the Jesus stuff. Do you think we can move along, Dave? You think we're constantly going to do... If Jesus was a Cub Scout, he'd have every single patch. Yes, he would do everything well. I know it, Dave. You know it.
866-766-0339. That's 866-RON-0-FEZ.
I haven't seen the puppet come in yet, either. What is this puppet's name, Fez?
Roberto.
Roberto, yeah. Which is Robert or Bob in the English language. I get a lot of emails about Dave. I don't show them to him because I'm trying to let him enjoy himself. But GVAC, you're on ronfez.net. That's where Dave came out of. Didn't you think that those people would have been more behind one of their own coming to the show?
You know, you kind of would have thought, like, exactly, here's one of our boys, here's a homegrown talent,
right.
A hometown boy makes good kind of deal.
Right.
And I'm telling you, man, they're on him like...
the last thing Dave showed me, it was how do we make Dave's death look like a suicide, I think, was the name of the thread.
How to... Yeah, get away with killing him.
And now
something.
You used to be on ronfez.net all the time, and now you refuse.
Oh, no. I still love to surf the ronfez.net
but
all
you don't
the time.
post.
I don't. Well, I don't have as much time to post, which kind of stinks.
How long does it take? A second?
When I posted, I put a lot of thought.
You went underground. Face it.
I actually had 3 posts last night.
What are they?
I posted in my suicide thread.
Fuck me? No, fuck you was one of his posts.
No, but you know what?
I will
For all
not
the
kill
people,
myself.
I PM every guy who badmouths me, and these pussies disable their private messaging service. So enable your private messaging.
I'm telling you, you're about a year and a half away from that Billy Staples. Look, until you're in there, you have no idea how it works. Let's see you run the phones, make sure Ron and Fez are happy, and deal with the fat cats and corporate.
Yeah. Oh, Billy and I email. He gives me advice and stuff.
Like what?
And then he calls up and trashes me because he's all hopped up on meds.
What kind of, yeah, but those are from the doctors, not from a pusher.
Well, we'll see.
It's totally different. I'm on the bet, my friend. Why can't you, what kind of advice are you getting from Billy?
Just, keep it hanging there and stuff like that.
Keep it hanging there. That does sound like it's from Billy.
Yeah.
Keep it hanging there.
Choppy sentences,
That at any point he'd tell you to fall on some stairs at a train station. That's a quick payday.
Does he call you Rook or Kid?
I think he has called me Kid a couple times.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know.
Who's that you got with you today?
Oh, well, today Roberto's in today. And he wants
Roberto, is he on his way to the opera? Because it looks like he's all dressed up today.
He's dressed, he's ready to go, except for the coffee stains.
Yeah.
And the cuts in his eyes and whatnot. He's a little cracked. He's feeling a little dry skin today.
Well, I'll let you do your act. Go ahead.
I just really only have one joke.
Sure.
But this is an original. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Hi, Dave. Can I tell a joke today? Sure, Roberto. Everyone loves jokes. All right. Knock, knock. Who's there? I'm a who? I'm a made of wood, 'cause I'm a fucking puppet. That's the joke.
Okay. All right, awful joke, but also as a ventriloquist, right?
Yeah.
Your lips aren't supposed to move while he's talking.
Well, I try to put my head into the microphones and hide my lips. That's my new strategy.
A good thing, yeah.
Or I could put Roberto above me.
All right, let's see you try that. Yeah.
But then people at home won't hear me.
Yeah, well, go ahead. Just try it, though.
Well, Roberto, it sure looks rainy outside.
Absolutely does, Dave.
You probably don't like the weather. It makes... that's it. That's all I got.
You probably don't like weather.
Come on. Keep it.
I told you I only had one joke.
No, it's working.
I gotta hear.
It's fucking working.
I want to hear how that one ends.
It's the weather report with Dave and Roberto.
Well, it's really rainy outside.
It sure is. And they don't make umbrellas small enough for a puppet.
All right, I can't hear Roberto. It just sounds like there's a muffled sound in the back of his head.
It sure is rainy, and they don't make umbrellas small enough for a puppet.
Now, are you moving Roberto's mouth or just banging his head back and forth? Because that's what I'm seeing.
His jaw actually juts really far.
Yeah, I broke it one time. I dropped him.
I think this is going to turn a few pro Dave threads out there on the boards.
Yes.
Someone get the whack bag and, to go to post tours. Let's see what people are saying right now.
You can hate on me, but please don't hate on Roberto.
Sure.
He's a puppet for crying out loud.
He's just a little puppet.
Eastside, will that help?
It should always only come at a punchline. Not at a pause. It would never come on. Don't hate on him. He's just a puppet.
Eastside, would that hurt your feelings if there was like a real pro Roberto post?
No.
Along with an anti Eastside Dave post?
Ron, I think we should get rid of Dave. And then it's the Ron and Roberto show.
And because I live at home, I always put Roberto and my other puppet around on my kitchen
Around your
table.
dick?
And that too.
Yeah.
But we didn't
Where do you
talk
put
about
them?
I put them on the kitchen table, and
Yeah.
I eat by myself, and I have 2 extra chairs, so I have friends to eat with, because I'm very lonely in this story.
All sitting there at the card table together?
Yeah.
Dave, do you think we can get a TV?
But we have
Why
a
do you
TV
push
already,
his legs behind him? It's really uncomfortable. The legs should stick out. Yet you have it so that they're shoved behind him like there's been a horrible accident.
I'm trying to hide the legs, because as you can see, Roberto doesn't have any pants.
Where are his pants?
He seems like someone blew him last night.
A lot of people have questioned me about that.
Check Dave's mouth for splinters.
If people could just see Roberto, I think they would like him more. Maybe
Right.
Lil Jon could get some photos and post them or something like that. I don't know.
Yes, because none of us have ever seen a fucking puppet before. There's something really special about this one.
And it's not even Roberto, it's Charlie McCarthy that you can buy in any damn store, and you change the name to Roberto.
That can't be Charlie McCarthy. He used to have good lines. That's got to be Roberto.
And pants.
I know Charlie McCarthy would be funnier. Yeah.
Roberto, how are you taking all this?
I sure don't like it too much, Dave. Dave.
I'm trying to...
Dave.
I tried to go with an English accent there.
Oh, was that it? Just by adding an extra syllable to Dave, it makes you English?
It came across very Dukes of Hazzard-ish.
I don't understand that. Dukes of Hazzard were in England?
It's going downhill.
Just some good old boys.
Rob, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi, you guys recognize what's happening here, right?
What's that?
While Dave's girlfriend was bedding up with an older man, he bedded up with a puppet.
Why do I have the feeling of one night it'll be,
Dave, you're going to have to kill her to finally get some peace.
I'll do whatever Roberto tells me.
Does she get a chance to sit down at the dinner table, or are those chairs reserved for puppets?
Not if Roberto's in her seat.
She's not real. You know it and I know it. She's not real. It's like fucking Hurley on Lost over at that house of his.
Roberto calls the shots. What can I say?
Hey, Timmy, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
Any thought to bringing the Armenian comedian back? I'm a redhead. I've been beat up 3 times this week, thanks to Dave on your show.
I'm sure you've been beat up long before that because of red hair.
Roberto, do you have a joke?
The thing about pants is, if you're lazy, you can get away with them.
Or no, wait, how did the show go?
Oh, Roberto.
Roberto, study Harry's material a little more.
Well, that does seem like Harry, not even knowing his own delivery. Here's Patrick. You're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, homie.
Yeah.
I just like to point out that Dave's Roberto voice is the exact same voice he uses for his West Side impersonation.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Hers is a little higher.
All right, let's see when you were saying what she asked you all the time.
Would you like to go to a movie or something?
Yeah.
What movie's playing today?
No, hers is actually I disagree.
You've never done that voice before.
That helium voice.
Don't know what you're going to say, do you? You just have zero idea of the things that you're saying.
Sometimes the brain gets scrambled a little
Yeah.
bit, and different characters become others.
Yeah.
But I think that's a pretty good impression of West Side. And Roberto's a little grovelier, if that's a word.
No, is he,
No.
he grovels more? Is he crawling to you?
Please let me talk. Please let
Why-
me sit at the table.
Why would he grovel?
I'm gravelly?
Yeah. The only thing that Roberto's good is to keep you out of the draft. Other than that, I can't imagine anything you're going to be able to do.
Would Roberto and I be in the same unit?
You should just name that thing 4F.
They don't have guns small enough for me. Once again, I'm a puppet. That's the key.
Yeah. Here is Paul. Paul, you're on Ron and Fez.
Do
Do you guys realize that this dude is like show cancer? I mean, it's like running your fingers across the chalkboard listening to this Roberto shit. I mean,
Really? There's no humor in it at all for you.
That was my favorite part of Jaws.
Yeah.
When he does the chalkboard thing.
Oh.
That's a good scene.
Seriously, I'd rather see it. I winced more at that than when he got bit in half. That scratching down the chalkboard.
It's like a charity event that you get this guy on the radio, man. He sucks. Bring back the other dude from Armenia. I mean, at least he was a little bit more interesting.
All right, you are... Now, we have to remember, Harry was pummeled. Pummeled. They called his house and threatened him, and yet you make them miss Harry. Grab me some of the old Harry phone calls, Earl, so I can remind people as they're asking for Harry back. By the way, it's my belief that when this walkabout, that Harry is, when he's done with that, he'll be back.
Oh, excellent.
No one's heard from him yet.
Still looking for a smile out there.
Yeah, he's looking for his smile.
He's walking around, just walking the earth like Sammy Jacks.
And I bet he comes back a hugely amount thinner.
Oh, yeah.
Just from the constant walking alone.
Well, by walking, he might have meant eating. He might be out there on a need about. Here's Eric. You're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, listening to Dave and Roberto is actually making me miss Elfish. That's
All right.
pretty sad.
Yeah, that's far. All right, Earl, do you have some of those old Harry phone calls? All right, let's play that.
Your mailbox is full.
Hey, Harry, it's not only going to drive you crazy all day, it's going to drive you crazy all night. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Have fun.
Harry, do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. You know you can do it. Do it.
Harry, you fucking suck.
You can lick my hairy nutsack. Fuck you, Harry.
Hey, Harry, I'm guessing your last name must obviously be Harry Balls on ya. Harry fucking Balls on ya. Twisted Trucker. Simple.
Ramon, wrap my turban.
Hey, Harry, yeah, the guy said not to leave you any more messages. So, guess I'm not going to leave you a message. Fuckface.
That is the type of phone calls that Harry used to get in his home. And you're making people miss Harry, Roberto.
Well, it's not my fault. Just look at the big red-headed puppet master.
Roberto, please. Don't ruin the illusion.
Hey, Shecky, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys, I gotta say, Dave is just awful.
Huh.
And I really, if you were doing this segment with, like, Blackie Huge Hands, it would be much, much better.
Blackie Huge Hands is the nickname we have for Mikey D's daughter.
She's brilliant.
Yeah. I would like her back in.
Job.
I am so much far ahead of her on IQ points.
And what, Maggie?
I'm going to guarantee you right now. I will set up a trivia test.
Bring it on.
And I bet she buries you.
She will not.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe like in Saturday morning cartoons, but anything else.
What would you say is your expertise, Dave? Honestly.
I would pummel her in Yankee baseball trivia, and there's no way she can name the top.
So you think that IQ points somehow has something to do with Yankee baseball trivia?
You have to memorize numbers and stuff. I know the first 10.
Have you ever taken an IQ test?
No, I'm a little bit afraid.
You're not going to turn the page. Yankee baseball trivia. Oh, hot shit.
Bring back Blackie Huge Hands.
All right, thank you very much.
I didn't complete the first SATs either. Fell right the hell asleep.
Did you really?
Yeah. I got like a 300.
Because Roberto couldn't hold a pencil in his hand.
Oh, geez. You got to be careful, because if you don't finish your SATs, you end up in some ass school over in Jersey, don't you?
What, Monmouth University?
Oh, is that where you went?
That's where they send him?
Yeah. My nephew got into there. You got to have a pen before they'll even consider you. You have to have your own pen,
but a nice pen at that. A Sharpie, maybe.
Dave, you're on Ron and Fez.
Man, all this reminiscing about Harry T, gets me all choked up, man. And I realize how much I fucking hate Eastside Dave. You need some fucking quality time in county lockup, faggot.
Okay.
All right, so
I got no problem with
You're
that.
all right with that?
All right, so that's a no for you, Dave. Just so you realize that.
I'm fine with that.
Everybody has people down on him. Did you see that, what happened with President Bush yesterday? Where he was doing his little going around the country chat, and the guy just kept laying him out. And Bush, he's just looking up like, if he had a look on his face like, if we weren't here, I'd fucking run at you. He honestly looked like, if you said this to me anywhere else, I would drop you.
He cannot hide his emotions whatsoever. When something comes along that's not going his way, the bottom lip completely disappears as he's biting it.
And he starts looking from side to side, like trying to hold it back, like when your sister-in-law starts to yell shit out at your house, and your wife's like, no, honey. And you're just like, I can't fucking take much more.
He's got 3 years left in office, and he will leave with Tourette's. Because the blinking tick is there, and he's just going to start...
Well, you know how he hates going around doing these tours, and now, since the approval rating and everything about the war is down so low, he's forced out there constantly. And it's got to be a living hell for him.
Yeah, because he hates to do it, but this is what the White House strategy, it's what they're calling let Bush be Bush, where he just gets shoved into a town meeting and tries to get off as many one-liners amongst the serious questions.
And this guy, he really didn't have much of a question. It was more of, here's my opportunity just to tell you how much I dislike you. And I don't know how that serves any purpose for anybody. It's like basically hearing from Roberto. But let's take a listen. You have this thing, Earl. And I don't even know if it'll play over the radio because you'd have to see him. I might even jump in. But the real best part of this is just seeing Bush trying to keep it together and get red-faced while this guy just keeps rambling on.
You talk about freedom. I see you assert your right to tap my telephone, to arrest me and hold me without charges, to try to preclude me from breathing clean air and drinking clean water and eating safe food. If I were a woman, you'd like to restrict my opportunity to make a choice.
I'm not your favorite guy. Go ahead.
Okay. I have never felt more ashamed of nor more frightened by my leadership in Washington, including the presidency, by the Senate and
No, let her say. Let her speak.
Yeah. And I would hope, I feel like, despite your rhetoric, that compassion and common sense have been left far behind during your administration. And I would hope from time to time that you have the humility and the grace to be ashamed of yourself, inside yourself.
All right, let's even pick that up there. I hope you have the humility and grace to be ashamed of yourself. Instead of governing, this is what we've come down to in this country, where everything is Oprah, and we're going to stop everything and say, and like the president even going to go, yes, I'm deeply ashamed of myself.
Yeah, this guy, it sounded like he wanted more of an amends than actually any sort of action.
I know, I was thinking the same thing. It sounds like I'm in a meeting. We're hearing these guys go on and on and on.
And this gentleman was like an older kind of guy with, he was very thin. And if you notice, when people start booing, Bush says, let her speak. Let her speak.
No, he didn't say let her speak.
He says, let her speak, let her speak. He absolutely does not say him.
I didn't catch that.
I swear. Because I listened to it 8 times. He goes, let her speak, let her speak. If you listen to it.
All right, go back to just that part, Earl. I want to see if he did the old her joke that we do to Fez all the time.
Well, I can't backtrack it on here.
Why not?
No, because I have it on...
It comes pretty quick. It's like 15 seconds.
I'll have to isolate it.
Well, why should the rest of us have to sit here and hear the whole thing over? From beginning to end. Can you just play it for you in there, Earl? And then when you're ready?
Yeah, I could sit up in here and then just...
Go ahead.
Well, not now, but I can't disrupt the show, but I was playing it in...
You can't play it in queue in there for yourself?
Yes, I could isolate the clip in here, but I don't want to...
No, what we're asking you to do is just listen to it yourself in the master control, in queue, and then tell us if it was him or her.
Oh, okay. Yes, that I can.
Just fantasize that you were in radio producing a show, and that when you were doing your work, you didn't have to stop the show.
Well, I didn't want to stop.
Or do you need perfect silence to work?
No. Earl, I would hope that you have the humility to be ashamed of yourself right now.
Right now, I'm thinking about replacing you with Roberto. Just put Roberto over there in Earl's seat one day, put him in blackface, and see how long it takes for me and Fez to know that there's someone else producing the show.
Roberto would be up for it. I can tell you that much right now.
Well, I picked that song, Ron and Fez, because Dave told me to.
Here's a comic book. I guess, Dennis, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
Hey, Fez, did you enjoy that comic book? I hope I didn't give it to you at a bad time.
No, that was it was great getting your comic book.
Great.
Very cool.
I distinctly, the first time I heard it, I distinctly heard the president say, "Let her speak."
All right,
He could have been saying it Southern, like, get her done, let her speak, but it sounded like her.
But if he says "let her speak," it's kind of a...
Well, let her
Yeah.
speak, at least, the very least.
Oh, I don't think he would say "let her speak." Hey, let her speak. All right, let's go back to the president. Let's hear this.
No, let her say. Let her speak.
Hell. That was definitely it. He said, "No,
All
let
right.
her speak."
Can you play it again, Earl, or?
No, let her say. Let her speak.
Hell.
I can't tell whether it's let him or let her.
The first one sounds like her. The second one sounds like him to me.
By the Senate and
No, let her say. Let her speak.
Hell.
I think he said her, caught himself, the pea brain went off. Oh, I've used the wrong gender yet again. And
has he done that before?
Yeah, when he said someone is a great Texas woman, just like me. Remember that Bushism?
What?
He was talking about someone's wife and said she's a great Texas woman, just like me. Where he got his own gender mixed up. But I think he said her, caught himself, and said him in the second one to correct it.
Hey, Austin, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddy, man, I just want to start that I'm a Republican, but I'm against this son of a bitch. What's he doing dropping all these bombs on all these innocent people? What the hell's up with that?
No, thank you very much. Here is George. George, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what a whiny little bitch that guy was. I hate the president, too, but he has to whine about his feelings. You're absolutely right, Ron.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, to me, the whole discussion and even the going out and having the president sell constantly seems like it's a waste of time to try to keep traveling around and taking questions like this. It just doesn't seem like it's helping at all.
And like with television now, why have town meetings? What is the purpose?
Right, you could do the whole town meeting from your house.
Yeah, it could be a national fucking meeting.
Yeah.
Just ring a big bell.
Yeah, I don't understand the instead of being and running the war and everything that we're trying to do, you travel around and try to pull the hayseeds back on your side.
Some like Harry Truman type deal.
And obviously is not going to say, I apologize for everything that I've done. So that's just a waste. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? You can only say no. I mean, you could shit yourself, and you still have to say, no, I'm not ashamed of myself.
That guy was just reading a laundry list before the president came in with Some Not Your Favorite Guy.
Yeah.
New Orleans, the war.
Matt, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys, what's going on? You need to get Earl to play that back one more time. The first time he says her, he says let her sex. He corrects himself and says speak.
No, he
Totally
doesn't.
missing it. He does, too. That's what it
You
sounds
stay online. Earl, play it again.
Senate and
No, let her say. Let her speak.
Wait. Wait.
He says it. You're right.
He does.
He says it.
It is a rambling, crazy thing. All right, let's listen again.
the Senate and
No, let her say. Let her speak.
I think he tried to say, let him says, and it came out, let her sex.
Yeah, well, the debate with her, and the funnier part is the sex.
Yeah. Whatever happened that they used to have it so regular people couldn't get in there, and it was all just pre-screened questions. Have we changed that?
Yeah, I thought that was still going on, where you had to be on some sort of insider list to even get in the building on these things.
Because that's the normal thing, and I hate that just as much as this other speech, was really, first of all, Mr. President, I just want to say thank God for everything you've done here. You know what I mean? Like, now we're also wasting time.
He always knows that first person to go to who's got that line prepared and memorized. And it's also like the old WWF days when the wrestlers used to cut the promos on Saturday morning, and they would have a huge backdrop behind them that had something to do with their gimmick. Like Hogan would have an American flag behind him. His backdrops are exactly the same like that whenever he goes out and does any of these speeches.
Hey, we got a little audio, too, of Chris Matthews, Tweety, as he sometimes knows. This is Chris Matthews and Tom DeLay during commercial. Now, or it was, I guess, at the end of the show. So somebody must have picked this up on the satellite feed. Have you seen this one, Fez?
I haven't checked this one out yet, but from what I understand, it's, the cameras are rolling when they're not on the air.
Yeah. So you have to be real careful in that game because they constantly people are able to pick up satellite feeds all the time. Well, we used to have that when we worked at the other CBS building, where we would look over and we go, is Dan Rather going nuts on TV? And we wouldn't realize that it was the in-house feed. And you just see him at the commercial. People coming over and rubbing his eyes for him.
Yeah, and it would look like, how weird to have someone walk out there and give you a drink while you're doing the news. Oh, you're not.
All right, this is Chris Matthews and Tom DeLay speaking with each other. We have it, Earl? You're not going to answer me, are you? All right, let me check with Roberto.
Yes, it's ready.
Roberto, do you have it for me?
Yes, Ron.
All right, run it, will you please, Roberto?
You got it.
Hey, thank you for calling me. Well, it was a good thing for me, honestly. Was it? Oh, of course it was. We got on the air as fast as we could.
Yeah, well,
you didn't know there was any. There wasn't any bad. If Shannon had told me there was an embargo, I would have honored it, but I didn't.
Well,
she told me.
I told him. I didn't tell you that.
I didn't get any embargo, but you just said to me, if you're on the morning news tomorrow morning, this is something you can use, which is fine. But she called me and said, "Don't worry, he's not going to complain." Have you seen this new focus group stuff on the candidates?
No, I haven't.
Great stuff.
Really?
I'll send it to you. It's great. Yeah, it's great stuff.
Really?
Hillary, John Kerry, all these guys, all Democrats. And how they do. And Frank Luntz did it. And
who I like.
Hillary did not do well.
Really?
Kerry did well.
You're kidding.
I am not kidding. They didn't like Edwards. They thought he was a rich lawyer pretending to care about poor people.
Yeah.
15 seconds. Hillary was know-it-all. I don't know it.
Nothing worse than a woman knowing.
8, 7. Clear. Thanks. I owe you one. I owe you two.
No, you don't.
Today and last night. No, I do.
I appreciate it.
Listen to those two tea house ladies loving on each other. So basically, during a commercial break there, they said about Hillary Clinton, no one likes a woman know-it-all.
Just to throw that politically incorrect statement out.
Why can't they say that on their show? Why can't the two of them sit there and he's like this, oh, God, they hate her. Oh, they hate her.
That's hardball.
Yeah.
That would be playing real hardball.
Right. Yeah, it's real hardball, but thank you, I owe you. Thank you.
I owe you too.
Let me give you
No,
this.
you don't.
Let me give you this little piece of gossip. That fat girl, no one likes her.
I knew it. I knew they didn't like her.
Shh, we're right back. Anyway, here we are on Hardball. Delay. Stop dodging the questions.
Not dodging anything here. I'll give up my seat before June. I know this is a vast left-wing conspiracy against me.
And break. You know who else is fat?
Who?
You know who I wouldn't fuck with a donkey's dick?
Dennis Hassert?
Yes.
Oh, God, he's so disgusting.
Oh, you ever have him leer at you?
Oh, God. Have you ever gotten a whiff? Like, have you ever been in the House chamber?
Stank.
Oh, Hassert ass. That's what I scream.
Fez, we got a new segment that you want to debut today, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, kind of a thing of winners and losers from this past week. But, of course, I call mine tops and bottoms.
Losers. It's time for this week's Tops and Bottoms.
Top this week? Katie Couric. Katie is definitely a top this week. She strapped one on and gave it to NBC, leaving them with a balding no talent and a weatherman who's lost 100 pounds and still looks fat somehow. Congrats, Katie. It must have been nice to be on the other end of the colonoscopy this time. And while she was at it, Katie gave the View girls a golden shower by costing those wicked witches their head hag. Nice week, Katie. Bottom. The Duke lacrosse team coach Mike Pressler. 3 weeks ago at a party, the Duke varsity rape team was on top, but now a pissed-off stripper, a couple of ethnic slurs, and a few rape charges later, it's the lacrosse coach Mike Pressler that's forced to give it up against his will and is out of a job. So far, it's Pressler that's taken it in the can for this one, but expect this to turn into a prison orgy of bent-over players before it's done. Because right now, the Duke cockfighting team is more popular on campus. Top Democrats this week. Between Tom DeLay quitting, Scooter Libby telling us about his leak, and the president's approval numbers, the Democrats are on a cross-country rape spree with a bottle of tequila and a case of Viagra. If this keeps up, at the November elections, the Dems will be doing the GOP like they were eager Haitian boys lined up in a downtown bathhouse. The Democrats are on top this week, and using no lube. Bottom. Congresswoman Cynthia McKinney. Representative McKinney started the week as a top, playing an S&M master and slapping around a Capitol Police officer she thought was the gimp. But how quickly a top becomes a bottom. Because yesterday, it was McKinney on the House floor with her ass cheeks spread wide open, humiliated, and apologizing for slapping the cop. McKinney was worried about not being recognized. She doesn't have to worry about that anymore. We all know her as the congresswoman with her dress hike up and bleeding from the ass. And that's this week's Tops and Bottoms.
All right, Tops and Bottoms, Fez. Your new segment.
New segment.
Which is 100% like Catty Moments. I don't understand why you just don't call it Catty Moments.
No, this is people just getting bent over during the week. And who's doing the bending and who got bent? This is completely different from Catty Moments.
Maybe I was just going by jokes and delivery. I don't know. Earl, what do you think? You loving Tops and Bottoms?
I think the Tops and Bottoms.
Who's the tops on the show back there, Fez, and who's the bottom this week?
In the Master Control?
Yeah.
Earl?
How are they Master Control? I would think that we would be.
You would think we would have the switch that sends it to D.C. No, they do. That makes them Master Control.
Well, who tells them? Us. That makes
We
us
do.
Master Control.
Master Control.
You want
Yes, you got a top and bottom, Fezzy?
Yeah, I would say bottoms are Earl, and East Side top is Roberto this week.
And Bronx Johnny, who yesterday had his hand wrapped up. Today it looks like it's healed up again. He's back in strong shape. All right, we're going to take a break here. Coming up a little later on this morning, it's Polo. And what director have you got booked today, Earl? Who are we going to be talking to? Marty Scorsese?
No, we
Francis Ford Coppola? Where are we?
We have no one scheduled for today.
What happened? You have been the Jimmy Rollins of booking directors on the show.
The directors will be picking up beautifully next week.
Oh. I don't understand it. Normally we get either a director or a member of Poison every day for the last 2 weeks. All right, so we will talk a little movies with Paulo. And I guess that's it today, right? Just Paulo talk?
Yes. We have
Hopefully his wife didn't take her meds. That's what I'm hoping anyway. We'll take a break. Right back, Ron and Fez. It's the Ron and Fez show. I guess the musical chairs are all going on right now. We've got Katie Couric has moved over to CBS. And now Meredith from The View is moving over to the Today Show, right?
Yeah, that's where she's going. They made that announcement yesterday.
Now, where did she announce that? I didn't see The View. Did you get a chance to see that?
No, I was going to TiVo it, and I forgot to.
Earl, you've got a small piece of it? All right, let's take a listen. I want to see. I'm sure it wasn't news to the other women. They must have heard it for a while, but it's going to shake them up as well.
Is because of the 9 years that I spent here, and I could not possibly have been in this position today had it not been for all of you and the wonderful crew here and the staff and the audience for giving me the chance to develop another side of myself. So I said to the crew today that I'm taking all of you, including you guys, to the Today Show in my heart, because I am who I am professionally and personally, in large part because of these past 9 years. I believe in growth, but right now I'm feeling terrific growing pains, and that's all I have to say.
Now, there is a couple of rumors of who's going to fill in for her. I heard of Patricia Heaton, which I don't think people are going to warm up to. And then the other big rumor going around, and I talked to our agent, and I know you can't comment on it, but Fez Whatley. Maybe an opportunity for The View.
Let me just say, that, I'm so happy here at XM. But, and there are things that I can't comment on right now.
The thing that worries me is that show runs the same time as this one.
Yeah. So, I mean, what would, maybe if things could be worked out with like a tape delay on The View or something like that, I don't know.
So you are commenting.
It's too early to tell. No, that wasn't a comment.
Yeah.
That wasn't a comment.
Well, I'll just say this. Me and Roberto, the whole entire staff, would only wish you the best.
I wouldn't even been, ready for any sort of opportunity like that without you and Roberto.
Well, I think I speak for Roberto and Earl and everybody, even down at the 80s channel, that whole gang, Cinemagic. When we say this, Fez, from the bottom of our hearts, don't let the door hit you on the way out.
That doesn't seem very sentimental.
It is sentimental. Earl, do you have anything to say? Earl, you even have a chance at BET, right? Something that you're going to be doing over there.
Yeah, they offered me 106th and Park to be the new co-host, and
they're doing a new sellout section where it's just the sellouts.
Yeah, they just wanted normal-speaking English black men on the show, so without the, yo, what's up? I can say, hello, everyone, how are you?
Yeah, because that's how we think of you, as really well-spoken.
Don't you ever watch that show?
No,
It's
Earl.
awful.
Earl, I get 1,000 cable stations, and the only one I have blocked is BET. I refuse to watch it.
You also have to block channel TV1 now. That's the all-black channel, too.
I don't even think I get that. TV1, you get that, Fez?
I've never heard of TV1.
It's a brand new, all-black channel. It's supposed to be a positive black channel.
So, Patricia Heaton, you think that would work out, Fez?
No, I don't think that grumpy Gus sitting there, people, women starting their day with her. I don't see that happening. But another rumor off of the Patricia Heaton thing I heard was that if Patricia Heaton takes The View, then Elizabeth Hasselbeck is out.
Because they can't have two right-wingers?
Exactly. Patricia Heaton would go into that whole conservative woman mode, and they would bring in a Hispanic girl from The View, the Fuse Network, Marianela Pereira, to try to bring in the Latina viewership.
Wow, man, this really shakes everything up, huh?
Yeah, so, it just keeps falling downhill till eventually it's Hasselbeck sitting out.
So Hasselbeck has got to be thinking to herself, this is bullshit. I'm as conservative as Patricia Heaton.
So unless she can convince Patricia Heaton to go liberal or something like that, get a little lefty.
See, here's the thing. Hasselbeck will count the lights. She will take the fall. She's the Alan Combs of conservatives, where she's acting like, well, I disagree, but she's not going to fight. Patricia Heaton and those other two women will fucking go at it. And that show will blow up, but it'll be finally worth watching after all these years.
Yeah, with Patricia Heaton, she's got no problem speaking her mind.
And walking out.
Oh,
she's somebody who walks out and stuff.
And they were talking about her getting a View-type show. Well, now the View's become available, so that must have been what those rumors were about all the time.
Yeah, you're right. So, because everybody's known about this, I guess, since Christmas.
Yeah, they said, I think it was Zucker, the guy from NBC, started talking to Meredith Vieira back in November.
Right.
Offered showed up in a limo, picked her up after The View.
Limo.
Throwing it around, and drove her over to where she tapes Who Wants to Be a Millionaire daytime.
And that's where he pitched her?
Yeah, that's where he started pitching her.
Well, I know that she said she got together with the Today Show co-host over Christmas break. So that's a good 5 months ago. So I wonder when Hasselbeck found out about this. Probably the same time you did.
Yeah, probably watching The View yesterday while she's standing there. What?
Because they said to themselves, we can't have two conservatives on that show. It's too much.
Yeah, they're just gonna, counteract each other.
And then the next thing was, well, Hasselbeck stinks. She really brings nothing to the show.
and then it's like, let's go for that Latino viewership that we've been wanting all this time.
Yeah, because Latin people can only watch other Latins. They don't know how to do it without. That's me. I'll turn on a show and I'll go, well, there's no white men on this show, and then I turn it off. Everyone has to look exactly like me before I can have any comfort level at all.
With Latino viewers, George Lopez show. It's #1 and last, all in the ratings. It's just one show.
Is that right, though? Is it big with Spanish people?
Yeah, it does well.
All right, let me check with Bronx Johnny. Oh, is he gone?
Yeah, he had to split.
Where's he have to go?
He had to do some stuff for school.
This is the show, though.
No, he wasn't supposed to come in today at all. I don't know why he
just
showed
stopped
up.
by?
Yeah.
Yeah. He had to get his knife. Here's David. You're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I heard that Fezzy was going over to the Bravo channel with the rest of the Sodomites.
Oh, yeah, the Bravo channel. Whatever happened to the Queer Eye gang? They're not as big as they used to be, right?
They fell off so unbelievably fast. When that show first started, NBC was running it on regular NBC, not just their Bravo network. Using edited down versions of it. And, over the course of an off-season, it just never came back with the same heat that it had before.
Stupid. It's the same show over and over and over. You gotta shake it up a little bit. Aaron, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't put Ann Curry in Katie's old spot. She's great, man. She's hot as hell.
I find her hideous, and I wouldn't say that to her face, because I'm sure she's a nice person. But there's nothing warm about her or fun.
No,
no way. She's great. She's always good on that show.
She's even awful when she does the news.
Today in the news, there was a tanker fire.
She reminds me of an abuse victim that's just kind of numbed over and's not really letting the world stop her anymore.
But I bet she was thinking she was going to move over to the couch permanent.
No, she knows better. That's why she was reading the news. That is, I hate to say dyke position, but Robin Roberts is over at Good Morning America. It just seems like female gym teacher position. Hey, Eric, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, how about Tara Reid?
I'm Tara Reid, and these are my breasts. All right, let's get into the news today.
Hard topics with Tara Reid.
Here is Donald. Donald, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
I'd like to see Paulo's wife take that seat.
Radio Shark. He calls himself Donald.
I could just see that first show now when they withhold her medicines and she turns on Behar and Walters like this.
Fuck you, fucking pricks, move! And I'll execute every motherfucking last one of you!
Amazing radio again, Radio Shark. Amazing radio again. Earl, somebody told me that Pitsy and Radio Shark were yelling at each other at the bar the other night. Pitts is one of our crack interns, and I noticed he showed up with his own crew. He was rolling in with his own guys. Where's all your buddies from?
Glen Cove, out on Long Island.
All right, that's the Long Island guys, which, by the way, is where that Book of Judas was kept for so many years. What happened with you and the Shark?
Well, he came in late, so I already was drunk by the time he got there. So I saw him. He shaved his mustache, trying to come in all incognito so nobody would recognize him.
I noticed he shaved the mustache.
Yeah. So I saw him, and I was like, you motherfucker. Because that day when we had George Romero in.
Oh, yeah, he fucked with George Romero.
Yeah, he had like 3 or 4 phone lines going. So I was fucking running around like a maniac here. And I started screaming. I wasn't screaming at him. I was playing around with him.
Right.
And then he kept busting balls through the whole night. So then I kept screaming at him. Outside, actually. You saw that, too. I was with you outside.
I didn't know that you were yelling at him, though.
Yeah, it wasn't anything like malicious. It was just playing around.
Then people have blown it up to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, we always tell them, go ahead and fuck with us and do your stupid, this is Paul calling, I've got a hack bit. But if it's like George Romero, why make him feel bad about himself?
I know.
Earl works very hard on those bookings.
Yeah.
Earl, who do you got today?
No one is scheduled today.
If you don't want to work, Earl, just tell us. If this is not...
No, it's just one of those days where nothing's scheduled, that's all.
Because Friday is a really slow day in show business.
It wasn't from a lack of trying, it was just...
What did you try and miss on?
Well, what did I try and miss on? What is his name? The guy who did the movie Brick. We tried to reschedule that.
Oh, that kid, huh?
Yeah, Ryan Johnson.
He's dead. He's dead to us now. He'll never get on Independent Film Corner anymore.
Send Pitts after him.
Pitts, you can't be drunk and trying to beat up the listeners, though.
Even if he is trying to pull a Scott Peterson and disguise his looks.
I want to formally apologize to the Radio Shark, then.
It doesn't matter, because I'm sure he was drunk, too. Pitts' buddies were all like, seriously, I want to appreciate what you're doing for this kid. He's unbelievable talent. You gotta get him to bring in his yearbook. You gotta get him to bring in his yearbook.
There's some funny stuff in there.
Well, like what? What did you do that was so funny?
Well, you could.
I didn't know that you were the. Were you class clown?
No, I was prom king.
Oh, very nice.
But
you want that to be your new name here?
No.
Sure. Prom king, get in here. Now, why were you prom king? Normally, that's the jock position, right?
No,
Is that you?
I played baseball, but I wasn't like super jock. I did a lot of shit, like I helped out around school.
Like what?
I was always involved in stuff. Like with homecoming, we did all the festivities, set it up.
So you were pep rally, basically.
Yeah.
You're a pep kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So you were one of those guys who know how to fold toilet paper, make it into a beautiful rose.
Yeah.
Nice work, Your Majesty.
Yeah.
Some paper mache floats and...
I always love the fact that you guys had after-school stuff. We had nothing at my school. And when that bell rang, they used to yell, "Get out! Get out!" Anyone caught on school property past this time could get in trouble. And then I find out all these other people. Yes, I was in the play. I was part of... And I go, when did all this stuff happen? During school? I didn't know. I thought you had the football team and everybody else has to leave.
I did all that stuff.
We didn't just have it at our school. Like, we didn't have any plays.
I remember when the Latin club got so furious that they were trying to get rid of Latin at the school.
You gotta be kidding me. I tried that years ago. Oh, wait a minute. That's from a movie. Earl, what did you have after-school stuff at your school?
Outside of like football, and then we didn't have a football team. We had a baseball team.
Right.
We had track and soccer. After that, it was like, get the hell off this campus.
Yeah,
as soon
maybe
as possible.
that school has, gotten better. But they used to think if you were hanging around after the bell rang at the end of the day, you were trying to light the school on fire. Because there have been a couple people who would think, we got a test coming up. I better light the school on fire because I'm not prepared for it.
Or for some reason moving dope for whatever reason. You must be up to no good. We're like, no, we're eating a sandwich. We're hanging out.
So you were part of all that stuff too, Fez?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I was definitely drama. I was in all the school plays. Spanish club I was in. Let's see.
Where did all that energy go? Now I see you do 3 hours and lay down.
It peaked in high school.
Where have your interests gone?
What else was I? A pep club? Yeah, I was in that.
Were you really?
Yeah.
What did you try to do? Get other people to be peppy?
Yeah, we would help make the spirit chains and stuff like that.
What spirit do you need? I never understood spirit.
And, of course, we always had some sort of little, ribbon or something that we handed out the day of the Friday on a football game day, where it was like, destroy the demons or whatever other team we were playing.
Oh, so you were helpful.
We would toilet paper all the football players' houses the night before homecoming.
To make them think that the other team did it?
No, just to make them feel special, like, they're on the football team. So everybody would drive by and see a bunch of toilet paper on their house.
Well, that was really, really helpful. We would throw shit at them, so everybody would know they were on the team. So you guys kind of admired the football team then? You had like a little thing for them.
Oh, yeah, going out there cheering for the team. The pep club always sat in the same section together with our matching shirts.
We weren't that organized, though.
Matching shirts?
Yeah.
This is a gay gang, when you really think about it. It's a happy, positive gay gang.
That was a blast.
Idea all this stuff went on. Did you used to say cheers?
I'm trying to think of some of the chants we would do.
Oh, chants. Excuse me. Cheers is silly.
That would be ridiculous. That would be absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
I know we would always start... the STP chant, and I'm trying to think of what STP stood for. Something Patriots, because we were the Patriots.
We had the African American Step Club, so they would do all the chants for us. We weren't really into
it. It's in my locker, oh yeah. It's gin and vodka, oh yeah. It tasting good. Oh, yeah. Like liquor should. Oh, yeah. You always had the best cheers, Earl.
Oh, they used to I think it was actually on BET. They used to show all those stepping championships. Those things are phenomenal.
At our school, when the black kids would start to cheer, you just see the teacher be like this. Did they just say fuck? Did you hear fuck somewhere in the end of that? You know, when a cheer ends with suck my dick, I think we're going to win this game. I think we're serious about going after it.
It's the spirit you have to have going into something like that.
Yeah. Well, Fez, why didn't you go out for male cheerleader like the President of the United States was?
We didn't have those.
And you also couldn't lift people. You have to be able to have some upper body strength to be a male cheerleader. I want to see once we're there at the top of the pyramid.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Yeah, if I had done that, they wouldn't have been able to lift Fatty Pneumonia up there to the pinnacle.
Don't put yourself down. That's what led to that heart attack. John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Fatty.
Yeah, buddy.
Hey, were you ever caught under the bleachers with any football players?
No, I was never caught under the bleachers.
Fezzy, I like the idea of this, and you know, we've had low morale around here, lately. Why don't you and Bitsy start some kind of a club, a pep club, where you can keep all of us, like it's Earl Day, and we can all feel special about Earl.
I like that idea. Just bringing some pep back in.
We got no pep whatsoever. And then Dave said that in school you were what? You were vice president of the...
Editor of the Arista Poetry magazine. What is so funny?
It's just, we're not used to an 11th grader in a smoking jacket and a pipe.
It was a very, very ritzy Dead Poet Society type school, and I'm proud of it.
I remember the poem from my school, too. It's in my locker, oh yeah. It's gin and vodka, oh yeah. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Chichester Senior High School 20, Sun Valley 15. It's over. The best Thanksgiving ever. You were going to bring in the magazine one day too, weren't you, Dave?
Yep, my parents are sending it to me.
Really?
Yeah.
They kept it?
They have a couple copies in my mom's dresser drawer.
Ew.
And I have some copies in my bedroom.
Are we allowed to take it out of the frame?
It's a beautiful publication.
I can't wait to read it. And some of your poems are in there?
Yes, you'll find a poem and a short story.
Yeah.
Called The Token. About racism, man. And why homeless people, we should stick up for them, dude.
Yeah, you took on some of those hard topics, huh? Be nice to the homeless, blacks are equal.
Yeah, don't kick the homeless.
And there wasn't a one in your private boys' school, was there?
There was, no, of course not. He saw one out the bus window when they were going to the Museum of Modern Art.
I never saw one in New Jersey. I had to come to Manhattan for that.
Why? He wrote one poem. His best poem was called "Red-Headed and Lonely." That's saying about who. This goes out to a special person who I won't say who they are.
I forgot I was also on student council.
So was I.
I did that one.
What student council?
The student body council, where you had to get elected.
So what kind of decisions were made?
Oh, it would be those things like...
Because I remember when everybody used to run on the smoking lounge ticket that we never got. Believe me, if elected, we will get a smoking lounge. Does that mean pot too? No. No pot. What did you run on? What were you, the president?
Vice president.
Yeah. And just really one heartbeat away from sucking the principal's dick. You're that close.
No, we got a new scoreboard. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Because our scoreboard was 50 years old, so we got a new scoreboard.
Thank God for that. So you had to raise money. It was a bake sale.
Yeah, we sold shirts, bake sale, car wash, all that good stuff.
Uh-huh. And did you get the scoreboard?
Yeah, we got the scoreboard.
It's beautiful. You ever go back?
We have our class of 2001.
Yeah.
Donated.
Do you ever go back?
No.
To the school?
I can't.
Yeah.
I don't want to be one of those guys.
Yeah. I like anybody who would come back in their dress blues. Okay, you're in the Marines. Thanks a lot. Believe me, you guys got it easy. Well, you didn't have to fucking join. It's up to you.
The king has returned.
Here you go. It's the Blowhard. How you doing, Blowhard?
Hey, long time no speak, gentlemen.
What have you been up to?
Just the usual, nothing.
Okay.
Defending New York City champions, Fort Hamilton High School Tigers. Just had to rub that in.
What sport?
Football.
And you still defending?
Yeah.
After all these years?
Fort Hamilton Tigers.
Great.
Now, when I attended the school back in the day, the city was bankrupt, and we had no athletic programs, to speak of. The football field was just broken glass and mud, old bleachers falling apart, splinters. Anybody involved in activities got beat up. And now the school, believe it or not, has an excellent track facility, scoreboard, football field with AstroTurf. They built a pool. It's amazing. When I was there, they had zero. It was just all about getting high, and anybody who wore the school colors, got involved in any type of school spirit, got the crap beat out of them. Only the Puerto Ricans and the disco boys went to the prom. If you were cool, you hung out down by the water in front of the school and just smoked bongs and listened to a Grateful Dead band that plugged into the lampposts. So it was just nothing in my school whatsoever. When I hear stuff like prom queens and cheerleading, we had really none of that.
But it is a better way to live. Don't you think it was better for these kids? Yeah.
I got involved in some activities, and I almost went to a different school to play football, but I just didn't want to travel up to Bensonhurst. And but the city was broke, and even now the school's at 200% capacity. But I never got involved in any of that stuff, and I just kind of wish I did.
Well, your next life. Your next life, you'll be vice president of the Poetry Society.
I went back to the school the other day just to see the field and the scoreboard, and it was like Back to the Future. I started almost getting teary-eyed because the school basically has some pride for a change. Back in the 70s, it was just known as a drug school, and now the school is like kicking ass in every sport. And it is the home of Bernard King and Albert King, basketball players.
Are you the Uncle Rico of that high school? You want to just go back and relive it all?
I really want to go back. I want to go back.
In his day, he could have thrown a football over that mountain.
Forget it. In those days, it was all about cutting class. We had a hot dog vendor parked right outside the school.
Because you were there.
Pretty much. The guy in business.
It was then at night. It would be parked outside my bedroom window.
And you take the school pass, meet your buddy, smoke a few J's, and then go get a couple of hot dogs and knishes, and then. Hey, I got class to go back.
You ought to write this up and make one of those summer movies.
I'm thinking about it because when I went back to the school the other day...
He went to that same school that was in The Wanderers.
Pretty much. The atmosphere was the same. We had these dirtbag teachers, and the school buildings, Ronnie, were falling apart, literally crumbling. We had these desks from the 1940s. The gymnasium, it was just... The building should have been condemned, and now it's just like a palace, majestically sitting on the Narrows, and the kids actually have pride. They have a track team that, it's just something that I never thought I'd see in my lifetime, that school would turn it around.
So it wasn't impossible. Why didn't you pick up a paintbrush?
Because nobody gave a damn. My senior year, I think I showed up once or twice, and that was just to see the hot dog guy. That's basically the only reason I went. And all my friends went to Catholic school. They went to Zavarian High School, which is a little bit down the road, school of Chris Mullen, and they would cut out. But then they would get phone calls back to their parents. In the public school system back then, you'd get a postcard, maybe, just to say, hey, this kid isn't showing up in like 3 weeks. It was amazing. And the coolest guys are the few black kids they bust in, because all they would want to do is just get high with us. So it was just all about the disco boys, the deadheads, and then you had the kiss-ass, suck-up little preppies, and they ran the yearbook, they ran, all the school activities.
But see, like, now in hindsight, that was the way to be, not to be druggies.
Exactly. I said, the prom, it was just something that we just laughed at that. And then other people take it so seriously in other schools, and a friend of mine, he lives out west, he's like, oh, man, he goes, we're having a pep rally, and I'm like, I don't know what that is.
All right, here's Turtle. Turtle, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys, Blowhard's forgetting that he had to walk uphill both ways in a blizzard every day to go to school, 24/7.
You really are bringing in that grandpa thing like it was a different...
Back in my day.
It really is your act anymore, though, Blowhard. Here's Dave, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
Hey, Blowhard, it's a good thing you didn't play football. You'd be like Al Bundy talking about 3 touchdowns and Polk High 30 years later. You sound like a broken record. Shut the hell up.
Hey, listen, be nice, play nice.
All right, Blowhard.
Starting center on the Teenage Republican Club of Bay Ridge, and I got a trophy one year for most rebounds.
All right, thank you very much,
Have
Blowhard.
a great weekend, guys.
All right, see ya. In my day, that's how I invented the cotton gin.
What a sad, sad tale from the Blowhard.
Well, you had a good point. It was fixable. You could have done something about it. You didn't have to just sit there and stare at the broken glass.
It's like they waited for him to graduate and then started fixing up the joint once he was out of there. Let's get the glass off the field. Start moving. Bring in some sod.
In our school, we played murder ball. Earl, you were in the band, right?
Yeah, I was in...
Band fag.
No, I was not. I played drums.
What were you, baton? What were you?
Drums in junior high.
Yeah?
I played snare.
Nice.
You couldn't even make it to high school, Earl? It was just junior high?
Yeah, and I played baseball in high school. I wasn't in the band in high school.
Well, it's not like it got in the way of the band. It's not like you ever had seventh inning. Here comes the band marching across the field.
I got to change uniforms.
Only one sport's good enough to have the band there, and that's the football team. You'll never see them in any other sports.
No, they should. They should have them in swim meets and stuff.
Why?
Just to cheer on the crowd of one.
First of all, let's face it, they're not good. It's the one thing that you can't say that you want to. You kids are not good. We'll take a break here. We'll be back with Paulo, Ron and Fez Show. Yeah, it's the Ron and Fez Show. It's Friday, movie day. Time to talk with Paulo.
From the legendary Ron and Fez studios in a predominantly white neighborhood, Ron and Fez presents Showtime with the Paulo.
Yeah, thank you, Blackie Big Hands. Here's Paulo. Paul.
Paulo, your life's a movie. How are you?
Your life's a movie, Paul. How are you?
Horrible, as usual, you know. I mean, I'm. You know, it's not a normal day if I'm not in the midst of a regular crisis.
What's bothering you today, Paul?
No, it's just that you know, last night she was talking suicide because one of the 4 dogs is getting old.
Right, let her do it. When the wife wants to commit suicide, let her do it.
Why would you even interrupt the conversation, Paul?
Yeah, then she's asking me, "Will you help me?"
Yes.
You know.
The answer is yes.
Yeah, I understand. But the point is, then she, this morning when I was trying to take a nap, she drove off with the dog. And she's prone to accidents, so, you know, she's out there with the dog, driving wildly to the vet or driving wildly back. I don't know.
So you're a little nervous.
Oh, yeah. I'm always a little nervous because it's a daily crisis. But anyway, the other thing, of course, on my mind is the last time we spoke, you know, you kind of woke me up out of my lethargy, my apathy, and motivated me to care.
Yeah.
Which is the
welcome,
worst thing you can do to me.
All right, what are you caring about now, Paul?
I mentioned the movie briefly that I would like to direct, and then you got me motivated to actually care about it. Now I've got it all worked up in my head, and
it does seem like this film is going to take place, right?
I mean, the point is to a certain extent, I want to make sure that because there's a lot of people who are interested and everything else. And I want to make sure that the person who's holding the purse strings is going to do it as a write-off, so we don't have to worry ourselves about
Well, you told us that you could make $20 or $30 million with this. Now you don't think you can recoup?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I don't want
$10,000.
My point is that I don't want to have that because all of the burden is going to be on me. I don't want to have that concern on my head
of $10,000.
Whatever. I just because there's a lot of fans and so on. Say yeah, I'll do it. That's the point. I want to make sure that
here's one of the problems. You've got to stop using me as executive producer.
Okay.
I hear you're using my name as executive producer, and that has got to stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and that's the problem, because you motivated me. And
right.
And more likely, even though,
if this thing does become a hit, throw me a couple mil.
Yeah,
but don't say anything about it before.
I understand.
Could we motivate you to look more into that murder-suicide pact with your wife?
That's the movie.
Well, to a certain extent,
we have to do this in one take.
It's not so much that you're executive producer. I would just like to think that there would be some sort of synergy going on.
Yeah, I mean, we will promote this once it doesn't get picked up, obviously.
It's not,
We will be laughing, and, I know Bobo's involved with you, right?
Well, there's a whole bunch of people who've stepped up and say, yeah, great.
Right. And, here's a really weird thing. So when I got the picture of that Bobo did of you, Fezzy, the painting, right, and with your own beard put on there, it was sent to me, Kathleen from the Bronx, some other people, and then I noticed on this list the Gail O, as if Bobo and Paulo's wife are friends. Is that right?
Paul? Did they talk?
No. What I did was when you guys went on vacation, I figured, what the hell? I'll post on the website and just find out exactly if anybody was interested, and there were tons of people interested, and a lot
You're
of people.
excited. The excitement level is there. I know KOP wants to be.
It was, but then I
work on
kind
it.
of backed
This is a huge cast.
Yeah.
Literally.
So, I mean, to a certain extent, yes. This is a film that the whole challenge is to make this for next to nothing. So, yeah, there's not a real financial worry there. But there's still a few $1,000s involved, and I feel responsible.
Perhaps as much as 10. It's ballooned to so much as $10,000.
How did you get this far over budget, Oh?
And I truly do believe that, yes.
Now, any film would be cupcakes. That would be the cupcake budget.
And the challenge is to make as much money as possible, but it's also
if you come up with 11,000, you're going to break even.
Exactly.
So it's not that that would really just be showing it once.
And and the insane idea that this could make millions and millions, because the challenge is to make something really a quality film as well. And it sounds like she's back.
Good.
Oh, great.
So
okay.
I hear her barking.
Oh, Michael and Otis have returned from their journey.
So we'll see. I mean, at this
point... Well, that
point,
gal had no idea that Paul would be waiting for her.
At this point, I'm going to hope that people will motivate me because, my life is sliding downward.
Now, is Gail excited about the film as well?
Well, then you mentioned the other thing about doing a film with, a camera in my hat and following her around, which could be done kind of concurrently, parallel.
Yeah.
So,
the documentary making of will be bigger than the film.
What's it like to be a director's alcoholic fat wife?
So that
loose skin.
So I mean, the fact is that it's to a certain extent it's on you that you motivated me, and now I care about something, and now you.
Well, I'm glad to know that I'm executive producing 2 different projects.
Thank you. All right, as far as the film,
the Ron Bennington machine has done it again.
I am known for those big summer tentpole movies. That's what I'm after. Paulo, before we get, you want to review some movies today, right?
It's up to you. We can talk about anything that we haven't talked about.
Here's something that was interesting to me. I read this today. 12 films this year have come out without being seen by the critics first. That they do not want the critics to see it, and they bypass you guys.
Yeah, obviously, actually, they did screen Benchwarmers for me, strangely enough. But, I mean, that was aggressively not screened for critics. And, yes, there is an aggressive tendency to make really crappy movies because they're aiming for a demographic that,
retarded.
That will buy it, that will go see it. And they don't need the critics who actually care about quality to get involved.
So they've kind of turned you guys into the bad guys, right?
Yeah, of course, we're the bad guys, because we care about, some sort of standard of intelligence.
Will you just eventually be phased out?
Yeah, I assume that is actually the direction that things are heading. That intelligence
I assume we're done.
Is being phased out.
Now, don't the other critics get paid?
Sir, as you know, this has been a big discussion as well. I do this. I've been paid by various outlets over
Give
the
us
years,
one.
Including you guys. And
I don't ever remember us paying you.
We never gave you a check.
You don't want to get involved with executive producing a movie either. But I'm just saying this has been happening by the people who handle those sort of things.
I took you to Kentucky to get your teeth fixed once. That's about it.
Who's Earl? Have you been paying him behind my back?
No. Not at all.
He did take me. We went on a long, luxurious drive. It's true. But there's many things, but there's been actual payment as well as many perks, and this is another thing that came up at some point. But, I mean, that's besides all of that.
You got the free tattoos.
It had, and the medical hair restoration and all of that.
You're welcome.
Priceless.
And I do appreciate it, and, of course, the many beautiful memories. But the fact is...
we have had hard times.
The fact is that, yes, people do handle these things, and they keep you out of it so you can focus on the things that are important to you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Why do I get to feel like this is going to end up like the movie Envy, where I should have really gotten the executive producer credit on this?
Yeah, because what happens if it does wind up making like $175 million?
You'll give me money.
Then
I know
you'll
that.
hate me.
Yeah.
Then you will really hate me. And yes, I'll give you a $1 million, sure, but you won't think that was enough.
I'll think it's plenty.
All right. Okay, fine. Well, I mean, at this
Give
point,
it to me now.
And you can't be hated any more than you already are.
That's true, and that's been a big part of the whole problem.
I will tell you this: the making of could really sell. The fucking story with him and that lunatic wife and the flea dogs. I think people would watch that.
And of course, then you've got a built-in extra for the DVD, or you could package them separately, whatever. But in any case, yeah, I'm happy to review movies this week. And yes, indeed, they don't care if we review them.
Nothing
anymore.
good's coming out, right?
The best thing that's come out recently was Thank You for Smoking. I think, and even that wasn't fully.
Great.
The full potential of the movie wasn't realized, but I still think it's a great concept, and it brought up a lot of great issues about people selling their souls for their jobs. I mean, this is the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. The lobbyists having to basically say anything to push the devil's agenda.
All right, Paulo. So that was it. That's the only film out.
No, there's millions of films out there. There's Lucky,
Lucky Slevin. What's happening there?
Lucky number 11. This is another very clever, very hip type of Tarantino ripoff, Mamet ripoff, where there are people being killed every five.
Did you like it?
It's annoying. It was annoying more than anything else. But I mean, you got the big actors. I mean, Morgan Freeman and what's his name?
Other people.
Jessica Tandy.
The point is it doesn't make any sense, and that's the biggest problem I have with most movies today. Is they're losing the sense of reality. You've got
Is your film going to have a sense of reality?
Yeah, actually, it is.
Do you have a title yet for your film?
I do have a title, but I'd rather not say it.
Is it Negro,
I only want to
Please?
say it to the executive producer.
All right, I'll executive produce. Tell me what it is. I got to know.
All right. I have actually the title for the sequel too.
Yeah.
One is called the title is Gap.
Gap. All right. I can see as a producer, we're going to have a problem with a clothing store. That's what I worry about.
The sequel is Baby Gap.
There's no
the name of this thing is Gap. The story of Paulo's wife's vagina.
There's no
Gap.
And we don't have to capitalize it either, which would probably remove a lot of the. We could just make it small letters.
Yeah, well, it'll save us a lot of money.
No.
This is a horror film, a slasher film.
It's a horror film. Yes.
Give me the pitch. Pitch it to me right now.
We discussed it. As I said, I can't discuss a lot of the elements of it because a lot of it is secret. You sort of said that you sort of guessed that it might be some sort of a snuff film.
Right. Now, if we had to say who a perfect star was for this, who would it be?
Well, as I said, part of the reality element of this film is that I need essentially complete unknowns. You can even audition actors for me if you choose to.
All right. So far the cast is going to be Bits, Bronx Johnny, Eastside Dave, and Roberto.
I use Roberto as the star.
And it has to happen between 11 or 2, or these guys won't listen to me.
I need 3 males, 2 females in the 20-something age, 21 to 29.
Will the women have to get naked?
I think everybody's going to have to get in their underwear, women in panties and bras.
All right, Bitsy, I hope you don't have any problem with that, but you're in your underwear in this scene.
Yeah, and, jockey's preferable, but it's not, DVDs, something like that. But the point is that I need 5 20-year-old types, and...
Do they have to be beautiful?
No.
Okay.
No. And then we discussed having... it's going to be...
Is there a part for Fez? If I'm going to executive produce, he's got to be in the film.
Even if it's just a cameo where I'm waiting at outside the Gap.
The thing is, the cameo would mean that you're such a big star that everyone knows you just by seeing you. I don't see you having that kind of pull outside of Pinellas Park.
A cameo is possible. It's fairly simple setup, as I say, fairly easy filming thing, 3 days, something like.
All right, hold on. Here's Bobo. Bobo, you're on the air.
Hey, buddies. Hey,
Yeah.
Paulo.
Hey, Bobo.
I just wanted to make sure that my sincerity was understood, because I really, would like to be involved in this, and I am kind of connected. I'm friends with Ted Boas, who directed Vampire Vixens from Venus, and I'm friends with Fred Olin Ray, who directed Attack of the 60-Foot Centerfold.
Mm-hmm. So you're coming to the executive producer demanding a new director already.
Well, no.
Do you want us to get rid of Paulo? I'd be glad to do it.
I just figure you got the director and the executive producer right in the room, and the featured cameo.
And
sure. I want to do as little as possible.
No, you don't have to do anything.
Oh, good. Then I'm doing
What
it.
I'd like to get is a do boy of some sort to handle a few little details.
Like what? Earl could be our do boy.
You know, just so I can call him and just say, could you check on this? Could you check on that? And maybe once a week. And he's, I already talked to him once a week.
Earl or Eastside Dave? Which one of you wants to be do boy?
I know Earl, and I
You feel more comfortable with him?
I just know Earl. We have a certain kinship.
And Earl, I don't know whether you know this or not, Polo, he is becoming so connected with film. He's got us involved with the Tribeca Film Festival this year. We have directors in here all the time.
I agree.
Talking distribution with them. Now I'm suddenly starting to feel good about this. Now that I was able to lock down Fez Watley for a cameo, and it's really a rolling cameo. You're going to be in a few scenes.
Now, a lot of the people have questions.
Showing up on the bus.
Just be ready for this, Fez. Your head's going to be cut off. You're going to be carrying it through a graveyard, and your line is, I want my cake. I want my bloody cake.
I can nail that.
You know what? I'm even thinking about changing the name of this from Gap to Bloody Cake.
I'll be glad to do
Because
a
here's
third
my
film in the 3 days.
All right. Do you like cake, Fez?
Yes.
And I think most people do.
Oh, sure. Yes.
Are you afraid of blood?
No.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
So go from something you're afraid of to something sweet. Scary. I want cake, but it's covered in blood. This has got everything, Bobo.
And one of the things that I'd like Earl to check on is where I can get animal organs.
Earl, do you know a pig farmer? You can get on the line.
Shetlands.
Just go down to 14th
I could get that.
You know what? I wouldn't mind doing something with Earl being on the cast. You have a part for a janitor or some kind of overnight security
I would
guard.
like
a railroad purser who frightens easily.
All right, Earl, I want you to give me a rating, right? I just want you to say the line, "Feets don't fail me now," or "Lookity lookity."
Lookity.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Look at the hair standing up on my arm. This is going to be fucking great.
This will be nice, Polo, for him if he gets, this part and that credit. Special assistant to Mr. O.
Has Earl ever revealed his age?
Earl is elderly. I'm going to tell you right now, but Scatman Crothers and he played on the same wiffle ball team.
Then he's out. If he's
Because we need youngers. We got to have the youngers, yeah. We got to have them fuckable, as you like to say in the business. How about him just doing the final theme, the song? There's a gap in my heart that's filled with bloody cake.
I just think that it's important that the concept that I have is strong, and it's all about, that the 20-year-old demographic is the core.
We got to go after them. We got to get the kids in there. What about music? Bobo, you play the ukulele, right?
Yeah, and I've actually done some film music, so I'm happy to help out.
Could you take that ukulele, break it, and then pick up the phone and start calling around, see if we can get some music somewhere?
Wacky just with a broken ukulele.
Well, in fact, I have what I would like, if I could, is to get two unknown bands. One, let's say, modern rock, and the other rap. To sign over the rights to a couple of songs.
I was thinking Crankcase for the rock, and then for the rap, I was thinking Jay-Z. And that one might even be tougher.
Well, if they'll...
We'll work on Crankcase. It's up to you to get Jay-Z, Polo.
Yeah.
Because he's not working anymore, from what I understand. And
no.
But I mean, honestly, I want somebody who will feel free to sign over the rights for the use in the film.
Well, KOP can help with that. Here's Jeremy. You're on Ron and Fez.
What's up, buddies?
Yeah.
Got to see if Polo's got the budget for special effects. Do a little self-whoring here.
What do you think about special effects?
Well, it can be done without the special effects.
One of those movies.
I don't know.
Be done without. But I would like if we could get professional film horror makeup.
Well, that's what I do, but I don't know. You're talking we can do without. I don't want to see another one of those direct-to-blockbuster, blood on the walls. It's a gag.
If this went direct-to-blockbuster, it would be thrilling.
No, but you see,
direct to a back lot somewhere.
But there's nothing worse looking than fake blood, except maybe fake blood on a cake.
to a certain extent, I appreciate.
I'm against the bloody cake thing now. It seems stupid. Hi.
He's making a point, and by all means, sir, contact me. On
all right, I'm gonna have my do boy talk to him. I want you to talk to Jeremy about being the makeup guy. This is all coming together. Here's Brendan. Brendan, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how's it going? I'm 25. I want to be in Paulo's movie.
Are you a good-looking kid, Brendan?
Yeah, I'm all right.
How big's the dick?
It's big, man. It's big.
Girth?
Will it look good in underwear?
Oh, yeah, man. Definitely.
Yours, right, Paulo? Your underwear. You sick fuck. Paulo, I
need two females, and that's obviously...
Me too, brother. It's Friday. I gotta have at least two. I got an itch.
And they're crucial. They're very crucial. The three guys, they could be anybody to a certain extent, but the two females are crucial.
You want them to be Asian girls?
Asian is one. I'd like a nice mix, black, Asian, the whole deal.
Black and Asian. Everybody's covered.
Everybody's covered.
Are they going to have speaking lines or just screaming a lot?
Everybody's going to have speaking lines, yes. And there'll be some
do you remember your speaking line, Fez?
I want my bloody cake.
And then, Earl, you see him, and what do you say?
Beats don't fail me now.
Forgot to look at it.
I forgot to look at it.
All right, and cut. Paulo, let's grab a feedback. I'm starving.
Yes, absolutely.
Can I look at my dailies?
And, this is the
Time
thing.
dailies. Just look at time dailies and see if that makes you feel better.
I do not want the budget to balloon. I mean,
right.
the
makeup
and the...
Right. And we got to have sandwiches, though. I'm fucking starving.
And there is 3 nights, there's 4 nights of filming, 3 nights of filming, or 3 days of filming and 1 night where we go out party first.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of part
and
of
film.
You film partying, and that will be the first night, and then the next 3 nights will be very intense. And maybe if you're not up for a very intense experience, you won't want to sign on for this.
It's going to be
scary.
Right.
It's going to be a scary experience for everybody involved.
Not for the weak of heart.
Yeah, exactly. So that's.
If you have a back condition.
Killer C, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what up, guys? How you doing?
Good.
Hey, I'm on the road right now, so I might lose you, but I just wanted to let you know I'm willing to give you guys a couple of songs if you want them.
Excellent.
You can check me out if you want to hear some of our stuff. It's on dirtysuck.com.
Dirtysuck.com?
Dirty, like D-I-R-T-Y, Suck, T-H-U-G.com.
Earl, run over there now while we're on here and see if we can't grab some of it.
Click on the downloads.
Yeah.
We got a lot of, you're talking about a horror-type movie. I mean, that's kind of my specialty. You'll see that once you get into the main page there. We do all our shit professionally. We do a lot of shit, man. It goes down pretty well, man.
You like that Rob Zombie guy.
No, he does rap.
Yeah.
You're a rapper, right, Killer?
Yeah, that's right. We put a little bit of rock influence into this shit sometimes, but it is straight up rap. You know what I mean? I've gotten into a little bit of singing, but that's not really my thing. I got a couple partners that do it really well, though.
All right,
but,
hold on.
We can go any way with it, you know.
All right, hold on. Earl, are you able to grab this for us at all?
we can't get audio in here.
Pitts is on it. Because I'd like to hear what the soundtrack is going to sound like. Bobo.
Yes, sir.
I want you to know, as the executive producer, I won't be coming to any of the filming or having much to do about it until we get the profit sharing.
I'll be your eyes.
Thank you.
And to a certain extent, I don't like executive producers to be, micromanaging.
I'm not going to be like that at all. I believe in you.
And I agree, and you well should, because you know how for the many years I have never cared about anything, and now you.
I know you really are back. This is like the Paulo that I never met.
Yeah, and to a certain, I couldn't get my tentpole picture made because I needed a mentor, but
that was called The End of the World.
Well, that was...
Now, have you written up any script at all?
I have it all ready. Everything is ready, essentially, but I'm going to need at least 2 months to get the time off and make sure that, I can drive up and bring Gail and the dogs if he's still alive, if we're still alive at this point. That's a big deal breaker, actually, if we actually survive by the time the filming starts.
And then you figure we can get this whole thing done in 3 days.
3-4 days.
3-4.
And the
that's going to put us on a $2,500 a day budget.
Yeah,
which has got me a little nervous.
The essence, obviously the budget could balloon. We need a participation of a person with the best camera we can get, which, the digital video, which a lot of the people are using today to make films.
What if we use Earl's camera? Earl, do you have a problem with that?
I have no idea if
not
it's
at all.
good. There's been a lot of talk that I'm not caring about a lot of the details. Like
Paulo, we can't use Earl's camera.
Why?
It's photography. It's not a movie camera.
Yeah, but we're just going to take a lot of them, and then fucking all you do is pull it back, and then you'll see them moving around.
Yeah, but
and then it's stop action.
I've heard
this is going to be a stop action film
with real people.
That's Tim Burton's area with the stop animation.
Here's Chris. You're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies. What's up, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get in Paulo's movie. I'm young and look good in undies.
Penis size?
Great. And you see...
what about tattoos? I got a few of those.
That's fine. That's not a problem. The issue is that I have an enormous amount of interest in the male parts. I have a couple of females, but obviously we want to get the best people possible, and we have, we only have 5 roles technically.
We'll have some hooker money there, so we'll just get them to act in it.
Well, as long as they're committed to the project and willing to a little bit of mental torture.
Believe me, if they're with me, they're going to go through some mental torture.
And, and so the issues are I need a location, I need a camera, and there's people who are concerned that I'm not showing enough interest in the sound quality. By all means, if we need a sound person, I hear that there's people involved.
This is a talkie, right?
Doesn't have to be.
Yes.
I mean, first of all, we have as a camera that just takes still pictures.
But to a certain extent, I really am going to break down the language.
Is it a movie or a slideshow?
No, I'm going to be breaking down the language of cinema. So to a lot of extent, it's going to be a bit of a shock to the system for the people who see this film. And
all right, Paulo, I want you to hear some of our soundtrack. They've already started it without being set up, but this is by Killer somebody, Fez? Was that his name?
Killer C, and off the website dirtythug.com.
Yeah. It's amazing. I see this as the opening credits. Yeah.
Well, it sounds good to me. I can use it.
Yeah.
And we haven't even heard anything yet.
This is perfect.
I mean, he's going to be singing soon, right?
No, it's a Casio thing, really.
No, he said it was professionally done. This is the latest in beatbox, I'm sure.
You know who you should get in touch with? Your former intern Bits in D.C.
Oh, yeah.
He did great rap stuff.
That's going to be you. You're going to be the regular producer. I'm executive producer, so I go, good, Bobo. Spend your money on that.
So just to keep our budget in line, what we want is a participation of somebody with a camera and the expertise to run it, a location, some.
What are you going to be doing, Paulo?
Animal organs. I will be
eating sandwiches.
What do you bring to the table?
90% of the work will be mine. The whole film will come together based on my participation because I will be one of the actors, and I'll basically.
Wait a minute, what? You're an actor?
I'm going to be the director and the actor, yes.
The ego now, the Citizen Kane that has gone to this guy's head.
I know you're not in your 20s.
No, and I
except back in the 20s.
Hey, school's a drag.
I'm not one of the 5 people I'm casting. I've obviously cast myself already, so I don't need to.
Are you the bad guy?
And that's another problem. I've already become partly the character to a certain extent. I'm getting into his world already, which is a very, very bad place. A very, very.
When I hear this idiot talk, I think we got a shot because it's so stupid.
Very bad.
That I'd want to see it. It's so bad that it's seeable.
I was looking for a type, and then I looked in the mirror and said, "That's him."
Yeah, to a certain extent, I was always thinking along the lines of a different person, but to make this cheaply, the only way to do this cheaply is for me to take the main part.
Sure, I understand. James, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I go to school out in New York for theater, and I got a ton of people who do the movie for free.
I understand, and there's a whole bunch of film schools. Obviously, we wouldn't mind putting out a little bit of a feelers to the film schools because, there's tons of people out there who are used to working in...
All right, Bobo, you're on that, right?
Yes, I am.
We need sound and a camera.
And obviously a location that looks similar to... the guy in the Silence of the Lamb, a nice place where there's no real windows, and there can be some screaming and stuff like that.
All right, so it's going to be you torturing kids.
I'm not saying the full extent of what...
that's what it is, Polo.
But that's an essential element. That's an essential element.
Is your wife going to be in this?
No, she'll be in the extras, in the DVD extras.
Hey, Paul, in terms of post-production, I have a vast knowledge of Avid and Final Cut, so I will offer my services for editing.
Great. As I say, our biggest concern, the editing is not going to be a big issue.
Well, how are you going to put the movie together?
I understand, but there's going to be a certain way that this is going to be done that, it's sort of going to be filmed in the camera or edited in the camera to a certain extent. But, yeah, we want to fine-tune it by all means.
I see. So like Blair Witch, we find the camera.
No, I didn't say we're going to find the camera or we're going to find or it's going to be
I love
like
what you're
Blair
doing,
Witch.
Polo.
So you're shooting a movie in real time.
Smart, finally.
There will be extended scenes, yeah. By all means, I appreciate every bit of help, but we want to obviously minimize the involvement to a core group, a very tight group who will get a back-end deal.
I see. Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Hey, listen, Paul, if you want to learn how to do this right, you should see a movie called See This Movie, roughly about a guy who enters a film festival with a movie he hasn't even made yet.
Yeah, I mean, there's all these great little... And one of the things that whoever, I'm going to need a rep to go to the festival because I cannot represent the film myself.
No, Earl and I will do that. That's when Earl and I come in. We have the contacts now.
Yeah, because they're going to ask who the director is and all that kind of stuff, and you're going to keep.
I'm going to keep you as a mystery.
It's going to be a mystery.
I'm going to say, believe me, this guy's retarded. Get going with that angle.
We said a mystery. I don't want you to reveal anything.
Right. He may be retarded.
Yeah,
I'll just say that.
Then you
Who knows?
Then you become a sentimental Oscar favorite.
Here's Benny. You're on Ron and Fez.
I've actually thought about the Oscar speech for this film.
Yeah.
So, and it could happen.
Benny, go ahead, buddy.
Hey, can I be the Teamster that sits by the truck and reads the newspaper?
Teamster.
All right, first of all, Polo.
Okay,
This is not in the union project.
This is, from my understanding of the SAG rules and all of the rules, considering the budget, there was no need to concern ourselves with unions.
I want you to understand something. I hear that you're handing back end out to some of the actors. The problem for them, if this thing makes money,
right,
and I'm involved in it, you're going to start finding bodies around like Goodfellas. Because I cannot share money with these fucking kids who haven't been there from day one, like me.
Yeah, well, that's your concern.
You'll see them on meat hooks before I'll take $200 out of my pocket. I can't do it. I can't hand over money.
I want good faith with my actors, and I want to take care of them. But
right.
A lot of these people will do it for nothing, but that doesn't mean if we make $175 million that they shouldn't get a couple of $100. That'd be nice.
I don't even like the idea of that.
But okay, so
I'm going to throw something to Fez for being in the cameo.
And
I'll work for a scale.
No kidding aside,
scale.
That would be we want to
need that to keep an eye on your diabetes.
And I'm trying to help you by keeping the participation to the
bare minimum, Paulo.
Bare minimum. Keep the crew, a core crew, that everybody who's there deserves a taste. Not just hangers-on sitting around eating donuts, and then they expect.
All right, let me ask you something. Is there any scenes with a puppet in it? Because if there is, there's a young performer that I think I can get my hands on.
Now, to a certain extent, Saw and the Hostel, Saw, of course, with the puppet,
right,
inspired me slightly, but I have no need for a puppet, but I'm not...
Oh, I didn't know Saw had a puppet in it.
Me neither. I never seen Saw.
They've done two of them, right?
Yeah.
I've got the perfect name for our movie. Are you ready for this?
Uh-huh.
Saw 3.
Ooh.
And there will be a lineup when we unveil.
There's the puppet in Saw, and everyone. Obviously, the Saw 3 is tied up, and I'm not doing Saw 3.
Saw with two W's, though. Saw 3.
Yeah, but we were just having a concern about the gap, and it's not the gap, it's gap with small letters. So you were worried about legal issues with gap.
Let me worry about the Gap. I'll burn that fucking place down before I give them $2.
Gap, GA.
You'll see fucking pantsuits on fire all over the country before I open my wallet.
I'm saying, but that's the thing. I do need legal advice.
My legal advice is this. You go over that 10 grand, we start using real blood in this film, and it's going to be yours.
The only legal advice you need is from a divorce lawyer.
As you know, I have a lot of fluids, and I'm not against shedding a little blood. You know, a pound of flesh, something along those lines, but personally. But, I mean, the fact is that one of the most, probably the biggest thing of the $10,000, or you know, a guy who is a business-savvy, entertainment-type lawyer to be involved to make sure that we are avoiding any of the pitfalls.
We got Mikey Boy for that. He's our lawyer.
Is he practicing? Has he gone?
Practices. He hasn't done it yet, but he's practiced at his house.
Make sure we get one of those disclaimers in there, Polo, that your wife was not harmed during the making of this film, so we don't have the Humane Society breathing down our neck.
No joke that she wants to commit suicide because of the dog. Now she just.
I would laugh.
Do not get Pete involved with this. All right. You're better off calling a movie Death to the Jews than you are killing a fucking single fly in films nowadays.
Hey!
I'm saying how crazy it is, Bobo.
Oh, okay.
Don't take that the wrong way.
I'm sorry.
Show business talk.
Forgot he was on the line.
And, you know, Bobo is far from the only person who has expressed interest, but, I mean, clearly he's a very nice guy, and I feel very comfortable with him and everything else. There's people emailing you, I hear, and things like that, and they talk about write-offs and all this stuff, which is...
How much money have you raised so far, Bobo?
$10K.
Yeah, he basically wants to come up with 100%.
Right.
And I'm just saying, we could sell
you like to spread it around.
800% of this, or 2,000% of the movie, and pocket the rest or something. But I mean, that's what they did in that. But I mean, the point is that Bobo wants to do it 100%. I'm just trying to make sure that we have a legal advice that will avoid the pitfalls, obviously, with the unions and all that stuff. Because the mob tends to get involved with this stuff too, I hear.
Well, you're going to shoot this so fast, who's going to have time to hear about it?
Yeah, they're not going to have time.
Normally, you have to have lights and trucks before there's any interest.
So we need to keep our location secret.
It's going to look like you're shooting a birthday party. It's going to be one camera and 4 kids. No one is going to come around.
To a certain extent,
leading to the bloody cake.
As long as you don't broadcast it over any kind of a medium where people will know where we're going or anybody will be aware of our...
I plan on doing an XM remote from there.
That's kind of the problem to a certain extent is that to a certain extent I wanted to keep this very quiet, very hush hush.
No, the other thing I'm working on is product placement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of funding can come from that.
Well, I mean, I have no problem with
Polo,
quotas.
Would you mind killing these kids with a pair of Nikes?
Nikes? I don't know how you would do that.
You're swinging them around, you're hitting them.
No, I don't see. No.
And at one point, I want you to work in the line.
I can hit them with the Nikes.
These are some great Nikes.
Yeah, I
into the sea.
They're killer.
Yeah.
So she's back now. Apparently, she dropped the dog off, and she's coming back, and she must have went out and bought some booze or something.
What's wrong with that booze hand? Can't she put the booze down?
No, and she knows. She's got so many pills going in.
I don't want her fucking up this movie, Polo.
I know, and there's.
Where is she now?
There's a big. She just came in the door. Hey, Gail.
The only thing
so how's everything with the dog? She's not. She's probably gone to the supermarket or the liquor store and has got like bags and bags of liquor. She's too busy. She's talking like in the distance, and she doesn't.
Well, walk over and close to her.
I can't get close to her from this phone.
What, do you still have a cord on your phone like it's 1983?
Yes, I have one phone. I have a cell phone, and I have a landline.
And let's shoot the movie with a kinescope.
I don't believe in those, those wireless phones that you have in the home because the feds monitor that stuff.
Yeah, they really care about you too.
Is there any chance of having your wife get stoley as product placement?
I mean, as a matter of fact, I wouldn't mind while I'm torturing to make a few nice cocktails for people and stuff like that. That's fine with me. And
that's good booze.
But the issue is, I have it all in my head, and I'm all ready to go.
Well, why don't you write it down into a script?
I'm got this all in my head, and it's all ready to go. 3 days, 4 days, it'll be done. But I have to have a couple of months lead time when I know I have a definite start date, get the time off, and get a little expense money to come up because, my life is...
Wait a minute, expense money?
Yeah, well,
Where's this coming in?
Car, and then I could stay at the location where we're going to do the filming. The only problem is to have a monitor or somebody to keep Gail busy, keep her out of my hair.
Why does she have to come with you?
Because if I leave her here, there's enormous potential for catastrophe.
I still say that's the movie. You leave her alone with a camera.
And to a certain extent, you have never met her in, / years. You don't know, you didn't, so there's a potential for you actually to see her in the flesh.
Take her to Central Park and we can shoot Madagascar too.
I understand. And so I'm going to, at this point, I'm not going to care too much about this because, to a certain extent, it seems like it's happening, but I feel like my dreams are going to get dashed.
I hope so, Paulo. That's the beauty of this. No matter what happens, you feel bad.
Your dreams or your skull.
Yeah, because...
my hope is this. This thing makes so much money, and I wrestle that cash away from you. That's my real dream on this project.
Oh, show it with a handful of magic beans, and you'll have it.
Yeah, that's why I want ironclad contracts, because I can see that happening.
No one's going to write a contract on iron.
This Hollywood business is ruthless from what I understand.
What can I tell you? I'm a Hollywood shark.
And I'm on the artist end, and, we don't care about those financial things. We're all about the creative angle. And, I could see being taken advantage of because I'm more concerned about finishing my dream.
Right.
Than, but
that's what I want you to focus on. Let me and Bobo worry about big things like 10 grand.
And, laughing aside, we said...
I know, but I'm just a little nervous because I haven't put around this much money since I got that lawnmower.
I know.
So, I don't know. I don't want this to be the same as a riding mower.
That paid off, though.
My tentpole picture would have been maybe $80 million, and obviously that's something...
That's more. That's what we do next time.
Yeah, that's something not everybody would trust me to do, but here, clearly... most people...
We're going to be watching you like a hawk with the 10 grand.
Who wouldn't trust you with $80 million?
When I heard you needed to rent a car, I was already annoyed.
I know. I have to rent a car. And
what's wrong with hitchhiking to your film?
You're getting a rickshaw with your wife pulling it.
I have 4 dogs, or maybe 3.
Don't bring those fucking mangy mutts.
I have to bring the dogs. Because if I don't, then I got to board them, and that's almost as expensive or more expensive than... And,
board or drowned?
No, first of all, the 4th dog who's not
This is becoming a deal breaker. I got news for you.
The 4th dog is, she thinks it's God. Gail thinks it's God.
Who is she, Son of Sam?
And she actually thinks...
Son of Sam with a wig.
And now she's wavering and she's cursing God. She's been cursing God the last few days because he's going to take...
I'm telling you, that's the fucking movie following that psycho
Regis
around.
away from her. So she's been screaming at...
What's your dog's name, Regis?
Well, there's Regis, there's Truffle,
Kelly,
there's Napoleon and Eclair. And Regis is the old one, and he's always had breathing problems.
Do not name a dog after food with that wife of yours around.
Well, they're all... Napoleon is a food, and Truffles is a food, and Eclair is a food. Yeah, they're all foods except Regis.
All right, hold on. I think we're onto a camera, and then we'll go to break, okay, Polo?
Yep.
Hey, Dingo, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, I would love if you guys would let me use my video camera on my cell phone.
All right, Polo, can you shoot this entire movie on a cell phone? And if you can, I think I got everything wrapped up.
Obviously, cell phone camera quality, and there's no sound. Is there even sound on a cell phone? I don't think there's sound on a cell phone.
Of course there's sound on a phone.
And I don't know.
You're going to have ringtones, if that means anything.
Don't know. It could be a really, really, really good cell phone. You can plug it into a computer, into your Pro Tools or whatever it is, and you could actually turn out a pretty good movie for all I know. But we're looking for the best possible camera we can
all
get.
Right,
and
Paulo.
Clearly this guy's mocking me with his cell phone reference. I mean, that's ridiculous.
All right, go to help your wife get the liquor out of the fucking bags.
Okay, sir.
Make it a good day.
Thank you, sir.
We'll take a break. There you have it. We're all involved in a big, big movie. Right now it's called Gap. I want to call it Saw 3. No one's going for that.
Or Bloody Cake.
Fucking starving. Can I get a bloody cake around, Earl?
No. Not at all.
Just regular cake. Blech.
We'll be right back and end the show. Ron and Fez.
Everyone's gone to the movies, now we're alone and left. Everyone's gone to the movies, now we're alone and left.
Fezzy. The Ron and Fez Show. XM 202.
All right, Ron and Fez Show. Here's Cooter. Cooter, you're on the Ron and Fez Show.
Hey, Cooter.
Yeah.
What's up, buddies? I just wanted to say what's up, G-Vac.
What up, Coot? How you doing, brother?
Bro. And I wanted to say about the show on Sunday. We're playing a benefit show in Seaside down here in Jersey, and Frankie and Johnny's.
Who's the benefit for, G-Vac?
This is for actually someone, Cooter. Cooter's our keyboard player / singer. He and Mikey D
gosh,
share.
Has he been hurt?
Yeah.
I heard a slash. I didn't know. Something awful happened.
Different kind of slash.
Oh, okay.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's our keyboardist / singer. Him and Mikey D share the vocalist deals with the crankcase.
50-50?
Yeah. And and someone he went to school with, am I right, Coot, passed away, and they're starting a scholarship fund for him.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like an all-day affair from like 12 to 8 or whatever. They're going to have a ton of bands playing. We're going to be one of them.
We're going on probably around like 4:30, 5 o'clock around that time.
All right, where's it going to be at?
Frankie and Johnny's in Seaside.
All right, buddy.
Cool, buddy.
All right,
Thanks.
see you later.
Take care, Coot.
Crankcase, that's the band that you're in with Mikey D, Jersey Rich, Cooter, and anybody else? That's it?
Mikey Wyatt is the other guitar player.
Oh, another Mikey.
3 guys named Mike in the band.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Just unusual amounts of mics anymore. Have you noticed that, Fez?
Yeah, just call it the open mics or something like that.
Not a bad name. Even
like
that,
it.
we use it for the Polo movie.
Open mics.
So we never even talked about films coming out this weekend with Polo because we got into his stupid stuff.
Yeah, to him, there's only one film coming out, and that's Gap Bloody Cake. Open mics.
Blackie Big Hands. Earl, here's some news for you. Black population down in New York City.
Yes, you know it's bad when black people actually moving back down south. You know New York is getting expensive.
Yeah, it is very expensive now, isn't it?
Yes, it's painfully expensive.
And so is that why the blacks are leaving?
Yeah, you can get a better deal down south on houses, and you know they put whatever money you can put away while living up here. They put it away and buy a house and move back south and live the life.
Is that what you're thinking about going? You Bama bound?
No way, I'm going to die here.
I like to see you, Earl, just heading down with all your clothes and just some kerchief that you got on the end of a stick, and you're heading back to Bama with a banjo on your knee.
What about a black bag with a little black stick on it?
Yeah, sure.
Going by foot.
So I think this is the first time in history, or since the Civil War, black people not moving are moving out of New York. Matter of fact, guess how many black people live in the city right now, Fez? City of New York, city of 8 million.
Okay, I would guess probably like 6 million.
Yeah. I know it seems like that to you.
Yeah.
18 black people are all we have right now.
That is it?
Yeah. See how he tried to steal the punchline on me? I give him the fucking thing to do the setup, and he wants to wrestle the punchline away from himself. I'll just be handing out straight line after straight line. I'm Dean Martin. I need to work with Roberto. So also we wanted to plug our buddies, the Eggplant Queens. They said they're going to be out tonight.
They're going to be at the Knitting Factory Tap Bar. That's at 74 Leonard Street, New York City. KnittingFactory.com for more information. If you want to give them a call, they're at the Knitting Factory, 212-219-3132. Eggplant Queens tonight.
And the Knitting Factory is where Donald Trump was on his show last week, which I noticed it looked like they put a new floor in just for him. They put in like some kind of temporary floor.
I'm sure that's some sort of contract writer that he has wherever he goes.
Steve, you're on Ron and Fez.
Good morning, buddy.
Yeah.
How you doing? Did you see the New York Times? There was an article that said that the welfare rolls were at the lowest levels in about a decade. Wonder if there's any correlation with the...
No, even more. There are more,
Really?
Yeah, even more.
Maybe Earl can comment on that.
The welfare levels have been going way down since, what, the Reagan years? Or maybe the beginning of the Clinton years?
Yeah, it was the beginning of the Clinton years.
Yeah. Which is why you guys love Clinton so much?
Yes, because he ended, and this is his quote, "We're ending welfare as we know it." So most people are getting off of welfare and finding a gig now.
You never offended by him saying he was the first black president?
No, that's black people were the first ones that called him that.
I don't even get that joke, do you?
No, I don't understand it, because he's white. He's very, very pale, even.
And then if his wife gets elected, she'll be our first lesbian president, and that won't even be ironic. It just will be a legitimate fact.
That is a family of first there, the Clintons.
She's like, I want to be your first lesbian president. Ha ha. I really just be staring at her. Yes, and?
She's willing to arm wrestle the Republican challenger, no matter who it is. Paula Abdul, she's saying she got roughed up over last weekend at a party.
2 pills jumped her and dove down her throat.
That some guy she got into an argument with, pushed her up against the wall, gave her a concussion and more back injuries.
What were they fighting about, did they say?
She didn't say what the argument was about. That the argument ensued, she didn't say who the guy was.
I bet it was about Straight Up. I bet it really goes back to that song.
My bet would be that there wasn't anyone else in the room. Paula's wrestling with her own demons.
Just her and Tyler Durden going mano-a-mano for a while?
And someone putting their head through a wall in order to get some more painkillers from the doctor.
Now, Earl, I know the only song I know by her is Straight Up, but she had like 5 or 6 #1 hits, right?
She had 4 in a row, actually.
Wow.
It was like, what was that? Oh, it was awful. Rush, and...
I don't remember that.
You don't want to. But it was just so awful.
That had Keanu in the video.
Yes, it was so brutal. I think like Cold Hearted Snake was one. It was just
And then one
awful.
she was dancing with a cartoon cat.
Yes.
I don't even know what that was.
Opposites attract.
Now, Dave, were you a big fan?
Oh, I really, really love Paula Abdul.
Yeah.
Like, she's really my favorite part of American Idol.
Even still now, you love her?
Yeah, I mean, I still find her very attractive, and I love that Cold Hard Snake video. It's a great song. Cold Hard Snake, look into your eyes.
So you would still have sex with Paula?
I'd love to have a relationship with her.
Dave, all right, let me check with her. Earl, would you still have sex with Paula?
No, she's too meted out. She wouldn't.
Fez?
No way.
G-Back?
Absolutely.
And I'd say absolutely too. I would even do this. Randy and Simon could be in the room. I don't want to be touched by them.
Critiquing?
No, just hanging around, wouldn't bother me at all. I still find her kind of crazy girl hot. I know she's a mess, and somehow that works. When I see her slurring or nodding off on that show, I still find it fascinating.
That's the article with her talking about getting attacked. It also kind of painted a brave face on her, how she was able to make it to the Idol live shows that week, even though that weekend before she had been roughed up.
So she got slapped at a party?
Yeah, shoved up against the wall really hard, enough to give her a concussion.
So has the guy been arrested?
No, she said she's filed charges with the LAPD, but I haven't heard any sort of arrest. I haven't heard any sort of, we're looking for a suspect.
They're having trouble finding a make-believe person.
Yeah, if this guy was real, someone would have been picked up by now. Someone at this party would know who this guy was.
But you know they're going to have to put, chains around a broom and say, oh, we've got her. We've got her, Miss Abdul. You're fine now.
Just so she finally calms down, so she can identify the broom in a lineup. That was him. And I love you, Ace.
Who's Ace?
Ace from American Idol.
I don't keep up. I would honestly say that there is no talent on that show this year. They got rid of the one person who had talent, Mandingo. And her problem was America doesn't like the fat and black. And didn't we get a song by Paranoid about his sadness? About her being... I guess this is just called Mandingo. She was voted out.
Yeah, it's quick and brief, but to the point.
Fat
and black, baby got back. Mandy's got a big black eye.
Fat and black, we got back.
All right, let me hear
That's
it. I got to hear it one more time because, hey, I'm just glad he's doing anything. It's been a while since he's felt the strength to turn something in. He's been through a lot of trouble. So let's take a listen. Paranoid is back, and this is Fat and Black.
Fat and black, baby got back. Mandy's got a big black eye.
Fat and black, we got back.
I love it. I think it's the best thing he's ever done.
This is the song they should have made her sing after she got voted out.
I'm sad that she's not going to be with Queen this week. I really hoped that she would. And you believe Queen is going to be on there with him next week, right?
Yeah.
Are they going to be playing? Earl, do you know?
Not that I know of. I think they're just sitting in as judges. I also heard,
all right, hold on. Let me go to Roberto and Dave.
Yeah, no, Queen is playing with them. Earl's information is wrong. But it's just Brian May, the guitarist, and Roger Deacon, the drummer. I don't know what happened to
Freddie Mercury. He's dead. That's what you're looking for.
Can't make it.
You know what song I'd have to do is that Radio Gaga thing. I think they would go fucking crazy. What would you do, Fez?
I would do My Best Friend.
Because Mandingo could have done Fat Bottom Girls in the place, but have fucking lost it. Because that ass of hers got to weigh 800 pounds. Easily 800-pound ass. Here's Rick. Rick, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I feel that American Idol, a fat white woman would get rejected faster than a fat black woman.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. I just think no fat woman is ever going to become American Idol.
No.
But why not throw in the black so you can do a little AC/DC? You've got to have that as well. Because half the American Idols have been black, girl. I know you're saying that they vote them out week after week. Mandisa.
Oh, down beside that red firelight. Oh, you're gonna let it all hang out. Fat bottom girls, you make the rockin' world go round.
Hey, Michael, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron. Card holder 3810. I definitely would snack on Paula because she'd pass out afterwards, just to use her like a cum dumpster. There's no conversation.
Hopefully she'd pass out before. That's what I'm looking for in a woman to begin with. Now, I hope someone during the American Idol thing says to Brian May, back when you were with Queen, what did you used to do when Freddie Mercury was fucking little kids in the ass? Did you go out and get the papers, or how did you keep yourself busy during that uncomfortable time?
You learn to look the other way.
You're doing a British accent?
Yeah.
Because I thought that was Roberto. I got so scared for a second. I thought he's working on his own. G-Vac, our buddy from Crankcase, tell us again where your gig is.
Frankie and Johnny's down in Seaside Heights this Sunday. The thing's running all day, 12 to 8. We're thinking we're going on somewhere around 4 or 5 o'clock. Going to be a bunch of different bands playing.
So this is exciting for you guys, huh?
Getting back together again with the boys is always a treat.
It's been a while, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys all travel down together? Is it one of those things? Usually
if we have a gig in the city, like Rich and one of the guys will drive up to my house, we'll all drive in together. Right now, I don't know how it's going to work, if we're just going to meet down there, what the logistics are all going to be, but we're going to have a good time.
All right, for the third day in a row, here's Mikey D, your drummer. Hey, Mikey.
Hey, guys, listen, Dave messed up again. It's not Roger Deacon as the drummer, it's Roger Taylor. John Deacon is the bass player, and he's no longer with Queen.
Mikey?
Yeah?
You're 40 years old. Stop thinking about Queen all the time.
I love Queen.
And thinking that it's important.
It's a drummer. I know drummers.
All right, buddy. We'll see you soon, pal.
Okay, guys.
We gotta go.
Later, G-Vac.
Be good, Mikey.
All right, bud.
That's it for us. Take a weekend off, and then Monday, we'll be in here right after O&A. Take care, everybody.
See ya.
The Ron and Fez Show. XM 202.